Hello and good afternoon, everyone. And today is crunch time for many of the drivers after seeing the Friday half of the draw lay down their markers in their respective league races. The Saturday drivers will know what's at stake and what is needed to qualify if they had any chance in booking their place for the finals in a few weeks' time. Welcome to round 3 of the Saturday League phase in the NRL Season 6 in this crucial round for the drivers. I'm your main host and play-by-play commentator, Flawed Genius Gaming, and as per usual, I'm joined by the magnificent duo of TK and Tatty. Firstly, good afternoon, TKs. Thank you for joining me. And from what we saw in last night's action, can we expect to see fireworks today?
Oh, absolutely. Good afternoon, Flawed. I am excited. This is the last round before the finals. And like you said, we saw some amazing stuff last night. These drivers know that they need the points to get into the finals and to determine their grid position. And they have a tall order in front of them with the races we have planned today.
Yes, indeed, they do. And secondly, Tatty, good to see you again. So we know that this round is crucial for all the drivers competing today. Not only the drivers that are on the cusp of cementing their place for the finals, but also the drivers that are mathematically qualified and won that all-important grid position since there is no qualifying session in the finals. Is that correct?
That's 100% correct. So drivers, even the ones who have clinched their position, will be going hard. I think it's still true that nobody is mathematically exempt from the finals, but of course, some folks have a better chance than others. Doing well here tonight is going to be so crucial for what happens next week.
Yep, crucial round ahead of us. But before we get started, we want to give a big shout out to our sponsors for the NRL Season 6, as without their support, none of this would be possible. So firstly, a big thank you to Dumb Guys Do Racing. This high-octane weekly podcast is where 4 drivers from the PDX Sim team take you inside the world of motorsport and sim racing. From breaking news to heated debates, wild stories to pro tips, these guys cover it all with passion, humour and just the right amount of chaos. For your podcast fix, these are available on all platforms with new weekly episodes dropped every Monday. And also Henke's Tavern in the beautiful Old Town Florissant, St. Louis. Whether you're a local or just passing through, Henke's is the place with unbeatable food, cold drinks and a patio perfect for catching the NRL in action. So grab some friends, head to Henke's and tell them the NRL sent you. Open till 1 a.m. because if you ain't first, you're still welcome at Henke's Tavern. Also, a big thank you to Little J CPA, turning streams and side hustles into smart money moves. Whether you're building a small business, growing a brand, or cashing in on streaming income, we'll help you track earnings, maximize deductions, and keep more of what you've worked for. You focus on building, we handle the numbers. Also, shouting out Lithograph Comics, a true comic book fanatic, historian, and lifelong collector. From epic pickups to rare grails, Lithograph Comics shares the passion and the journey with fans everywhere. Check out his collection and stories, and don't forget to scan the QR code to dive into his world. And lastly, a big thank you to the Mist Chronicles trilogy books written by Lawrence Brown, or Tusabox as he's known online, a swordsman turned wanderer as he's pulled into an epic struggle that could save or destroy the world. The trilogy is available now on Amazon in paperback and on Kindle. And again, thank you to all our amazing sponsors for the whole of NRL Season 6. Ooh, okay, so with the nitty-gritty now out of the way, let's introduce our first race for today, round 3 of the Saturday Division B. So we are heading over to Germany for the Green Hell. That's right, we are at the Nürburgring Endurance layout for this round 3 Saturday Division B race. Track length is 14.83 miles, featuring a total of 96 corners. There'll be a 20-minute qualifier ahead of a 4-lap race here. They'll be driving the SLS AMG GT3 2011 car with a max power of 614 brake horsepower at 6,700 RPM, weighing in at 2,976 pounds in this naturally aspirated front-engined rear-wheel drive car. It'll be a good start for the drivers with a tyre wear set at ×3 and a fuel consumption rate at ×3, and there is a 10 litre a second refill rate. The cars are set to its default stock settings with BOP enabled, with just brake balance to be able to be tweaked. Tyres available for the drivers are the racing softs, mediums and hards, as well as the intermediates and the wets, which we are actually expecting a bit of rain for a big chunk of this race. However, none are required, meaning strategy is completely open for the drivers. Now, TK, can you explain to us the points format going into this race, please?
I sure can, Flood. And we are looking at the same format of the Formula One drivers follow, and that is 25 points for the race winner, 18 points for second place, and third place gets 15 points. And then it works its way down 4th through 10th place, with 10th only getting 1 point. Top 10 drivers will earn points, and if one of those top 10 drivers gets the fastest lap, they will also be rewarded a bonus point for that. Top 14 overall drivers from both days will make their way on to the finals.
Thank you, TK. And Tati, if you can read us through the driver lineup for this Saturday Division B race, please.
Yes, I absolutely can. And you'll notice on the right-hand side of all the drivers' names here are their streaming or social media accounts. You can go check out their streams, but do make sure to come back here for all of the action. Let's talk about those drivers now. We've got Angry Fredbird, BHR's Johnny Boy, Caper, Digital Relay, Island Grown 777, Sector 7 Racing's Nuke, Old Man Pip, Polias Pangolin with Beehive Racing, PHG Arrow with Papa's House of Game, Racer DM with Super Clean Racing, Root RTS Bandit with Left Lane Racing, Full Speed Racing's SRP Mr. Racing 40, and Victory in Performance Racing's VIP Ace GT.
Thank you, Tati. Okay, so that is the race details ahead of this crucial round in Division B for today. So today we've got a new car, a new track with new challenges ahead of the drivers. Now, TK, so I know that you're not a fan of the Green Hell. What challenges would you have, or maybe even the drivers out there ahead for the drivers around the Green Hell?
Well, to be fair, it has grown on me. I have been doing it more often. You know, that circuit experience in the M6 is definitely the way to learn this car or track, or, just taking a little MX-5 around here for a bit of fun, learning all the turns. Definitely would rather be doing this than what they did yesterday at Le Mans. So, but for this, in the rain, it's going to be avoiding the curbs, especially as the track is drying out. And really the only way to learn this track is through repetition. There's too many turns to count, and you just have to do it over and over again and try your best to remember where you are. So for people like me who have a bit of an attention span order, these tracks are very difficult.
Indeed. And Tati, I know you are a fan of this place. So what tips can you give for the drivers?
Man, well, first of all, I'm just happy to hear that TK now likes this place. 100% circuit experience is the best way to learn it. Gran Turismo 5 had something similar, and then it went away in 6, and it was so sorely missed. But if you have not learned all the tracks you want to learn, I would do it now in GT7. There's no guarantee circuit experience will exist in 8. Anyway, tips for the drivers are take it easy. You do have to go fast at the circuit, you do, but it's so easy to crash here, and crashing is always slower than moving forward. So take it easy. It's raining, it's slippery, it's impossible to memorize where all the grip is. You're gonna have to drive this car and this track with a lot of improvisation. So be loose.
Okay, some good tips there. And yeah, we are just starting the 20-minute qualifying session. So a lot of the drivers are on their outlap right now. As you can see, it is pouring down out there. The drivers are on either the intermediates or the wet tires to keep the car on the black stuff. But what kind of strategy would you go like into this qualifying session? Now, would you try to stay in a pack, or do you think that track positioning is key, you know, having a bit of space out on circuit so you're able to get on with your hot lap, TKs?
Well, for me personally, not being the best at this track, I would like to have somebody maybe a second, 2 seconds ahead of me that I could kind of follow them and see what they're doing. But these drivers have put in plenty of practice, so I think having some space would be ideal if you feel comfortable knowing the track. That way you're not distracted. It is a very narrow track, and it's so easy to make a mistake that if the driver in front of you does have an issue, that could absolutely ruin your lap. With only 20 minutes around here, you know, they're really going to get one shot at this, and they need to get it right. And I have been seeing a mix of intermediates and wets. We can see here on board with Racer DM, it hasn't quite hit that full wet mark on his moisture meter, but I have seen some of the other drivers at different parts of the track where it's gone into the dark blue, where full wets might be the play. So it's going to be interesting to see how these intermediates and full wets play out for these drivers in qualifying.
Yeah, that is an interesting point you've brought up, TK. So Tati, I need to ask you really, so being in this kind of window where it's just verging into that sort of third bar of the moisture meter. So what tires do you think is optimal at this stage of qualifying?
It's so hard to tell, right? Because this stage is just the outlap, and it's incredibly long here. At any other track, or most other tracks, we could fit 2, 3, maybe even 4 laps in the time that it's going to take just to get the outlap done here. And everybody knows with the Nürburgring, by the time you're done with that first lap, the second one can look completely different if the rain stops or if the rain gets worse. Different parts of the track are going to look different. I think we're seeing some drivers are going to hold back, whether staying in the pits or just doing a really, really slow outlap in hopes that the track dries out and brings the intermediates into play versus the wets.
Yes, interesting. Yeah, I mean, on this part of the circuit in the sort of stadium section, you can see that it's just dipping into that wet meter, and some of the drivers that are on the intermediates, they might have a tricky kind of opening part of the lap really to keep the car steady and stable and more importantly consistent as well. But we're looking aboard with PHG Caper. Now I can tell you with Caper, he's well, the first 2 races were as good as it can be, I suppose. P3, P2 in his opening 2 races. 36 points he's accumulated through this championship, and under my predictions, and it is a prediction here, I do feel like he has qualified into the finals, but of course, you know, just because he's qualified doesn't mean that he can't go for a good result here, because obviously with no qualifying in the finals, so grid positioning and where you come in the league standings is going to be so important, TKs.
It really is, because there is no qualifying for the finals. That's where you start. And we don't know what the final races are going to be. We know some tracks it's super easy to overtake and your grid position doesn't really matter. And others it's incredibly difficult. Also will depend on the car. So I think the goal, no matter how comfortable you're feeling making it in the finals, doing your best result here is only going to help you more. And I did want to point something out, Flawed. I was looking through here. I see everybody running at least traction control, except for the man we're on right now, Mr. Racing. Mr. Racing's raw dogging it here. No traction control and on the intermediate. So he must feel very confident with his throttle control and his ability here in the wets.
Yes, indeed, and well, we did just see him run a little bit wide there, but lucky he wasn't actually penalised for that, and hopefully not losing out too much time. But yeah, it's very interesting, Tati, that there are certainly certain sections of this circuit where it's like extremely wet, but this kind of Nordschleife part of the circuit at the moment is kind of just in that intermediate window, so really on the cusp of being a little bit too maybe uncontrollable, especially when he's not got traction control on. But yeah, I mean, he looks like he's doing a pretty good job so far, Tati.
Yeah, I mean, very brave. But...
Well done, Claude. Well done.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Well, sorry. Very brave, as we said here, and sketchy and scary. This car has a big old V8 in it. It is naturally aspirated, so the power curve is somewhat flat and predictable. And so yeah, the control of the throttle is possible. It's there, but it's just a little bit of an additional challenge in a very difficult league. Shout out to Mr. Racing for trying it, but as you can see, he's gonna have to run most of this lap with damage now.
Yes, indeed, and I mean, so we're kind of just over halfway through this qualifying session. I think this is the only lap that the drivers will be able to run, isn't it? Because I don't think they've got enough time for the second lap. So very important to get some sort of lap time in there. It's just going to be interesting, the differences in times, which I think could vary quite a bit in these very tricky conditions. But yeah, Caper definitely looking very composed out there, it has to be said. So far so good from him. We're also looking aboard with Island Grown. Now this is certainly a very important round for Island Grown. He is one of the drivers that are kind of in the drop zone. Oh my god, and see, well, you could see there the car just understeered wide and he went straight into the wall, picking up that front aero damage. And yeah, I mean, that could be crucial. At the moment, Island Grown currently only got 5 points in this championship. We've worked out he needs second or better if he is to progress into the finals, and certainly that moment there in qualifying is not going to help his cause there, TKs.
No, not at all. And we saw this yesterday in the Division A race, how crucial that damage is, because especially here, it's a long way around to the pits. When you get that damage early on in the lap, it's just going to hurt you this whole time, and it's going to be interesting to see how much this affects his lap time. I did want to point out, I liked what Tati was saying earlier about the drivers hanging back, doing their lap later. VIP Ace GT is the furthest back driver on the grid, and he is going to get the driest track, because all these drivers ahead of him are drying out the track essentially. So I'm curious to see if that's going to play big in his advantage if he's able to get through cleanly.
I'm seeing spots that are down to just the first wet bar, so it definitely is drying out there. Yeah.
So much like F1, the last across the line is typically going to have the best lap time if they can put it together.
That's right.
So do you think now that the drivers that have picked the intermediate tires, they've got a big advantage here then, Tete?
If they started their out lap a bit later, which I mean, I guess everyone started almost at the same time, then yes, absolutely. Like we said, the last off the track will have the best track. Some of them start. Oh, Mr. Racing has just completely spun it in third place there. So Mr. Racing, big loss. He already had damage. He just got off the track in time to let Arrow pass by with no.
Oh, look out! Oh my gosh.
These guys are stressing me out. I was gonna say some of them took their intermediates out on the track very early when it was still pretty wet, and so there was a disadvantage to the wet tire. But ultimately, we will see. We'll find out.
Yes.
Oh my god. That was so close.
certainly too close for comfort there as he, struggled to regain traction and move out of the way of the oncoming traffic. Very fortunate that he didn't collect any other driver in that sequence. Certainly you can see how much that the drivers are struggling. This is nicknamed the Green Hell for a reason, and if you add in the rain as well, it's certainly a tricky circuit to really adapt to what is very difficult conditions for the drivers. But again, I don't want to jinx Caper because it seems like I'm on form when it comes to jinxing a few of the drivers out there. So far, he's looking all right, I think.
He's doing it.
Interestingly, I mean, Island Grown, he did actually hit the wall, a few minutes ago, but keeping within tabs of Capers, it does look like Island Grown is pushing. It looks like he's doing well out there. So it could be the case, as you said, Tati, about drivers, holding back, just making sure that they don't make any silly errors. Just keep it on the black stuff and, just trying to put in a solid lap time out there, I think.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you have 4 laps around here for the actual racing, and while track position certainly matters, it's not super easy to pass around here. Consistency is king around here, even amongst the fastest drivers. It's about being able to be as perfect as possible. I don't think anyone can put together a perfect lap at the Nürburgring, but some would argue it's been done in a Yellowbird on YouTube. Check it out.
I would say the late great Sabine definitely.
She maybe pulled it off.
Could pull it off. I remember on Top Gear her ripping around that thing in a huge van and setting a pretty promising time.
Well, what's terrible is that perfect lap was probably done on some random ring taxi run, no cameras, no nothing, just like a couple tourists who don't even know where they are. Right. She put together the best lap that's ever been done.
Yeah, the Ford Transit, I do believe that was. Pretty insane for sure. The times are just coming in now as we draw this 20-minute qualifying session to a close. Racer DM is on pole position. And he so needs it as well. He's languishing at the foot of the championship in Division B, so really needs to make his mark here. As Johnny Boy comes across the line onto pole position with an 8-minute 50.3, so a really, really fast time from Johnny Boy. He must be really happy, but we are starting to see purple times now as we look on board with Mr. Racing, but we're on board with Nuke, our championship leader for Division B right now. And currently P8, but of course not set a lap time yet. So what kind of time can Nuke set? It's looking good, if I'm being honest. And he comes across the line with an 8-minute 47.5. So can anyone else behind go quicker? It's looking like Digital Relay is not going to be able to match that time. However, it does set a P2 with an 8-minute 48.3 for him. So a very good time from Digital Relay. And Pilates Pango, of course, reigning champion from season 5 in Division B. So he is just about coming onto the Dottinger straight, and you can see the dry line forming now, can't you? So his tires are not looking the best. They are really burning up, I think. But at the minute, I mean,
he was up 6/10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say some drivers have a real advantage here. Caper gets a second lap and he's got really fresh intermediates, so we're not done. It is the 20 minutes is done, but some people cross the line in time. We still have at least 8 more minutes of qualifying here as some people start a second lap with this drier track. I think Caper might come across the line with it. Who else is still out there? Nuke's still out there, but his tires don't look as good as Caper's, unfortunately. Digital Relay is paused, though technically he didn't take the checker.
Whole time coming up because Pilates Pango 7 seconds purple. So it just shows you how much that track was drying towards the end of the qualifying session. So maybe VIP Ace can get up the timing boards as well. Of course, yeah, he will be the last driver to come across the line. Unfortunately, the drivers that did come across the line to start another lap, they're not going to have enough time, unfortunately, because the maximum cooldown time is 3 minutes, and of course, as you can see, the laps are 8 minutes long here. So unfortunately, not enough time for them to complete that second lap. But VIP Ace just coming down the Dottinger straight now. He has got damage to that car. Is that going to hinder his chances, I wonder? It's looking like he's looking a bit slower there, I think, TKs.
Yeah, I imagine some aero damage and maybe not quite getting the best exit onto that long straight. I still think his time will be better than those who crossed the line when the track was still wet. We saw that huge time advantage that Pelias Pango got being so late across the line. What's concerning me is only 2 laps, and a lot of these drivers' tire wear was pretty terrible. So it should be interesting to see how that plays out in the race as he crosses the line and moves up into P6. So he did move up a few positions there.
Yeah, 8 minute 53.9 for him, 13 seconds down on our pole sitter Pango. Now, I have heard some interesting things that apparently the drivers is saying that they've got about 8 minutes left. So I'm just wondering whether or not that's a glitch. Because I'm pretty sure that it's a 20-minute qualifying session. 180 seconds is the maximum continuation time. So it should be 23 minutes. However, we've already surpassed the 23-minute mark. So maybe you was right, Tazzy. Yeah. Maybe they are going to set these times.
They are. Caper's on a flyer. I'm trying to see if he's going to pass the sector marker where I can see how well he's doing, because I think he had the freshest set of intermediates to get to start a second lap. They're looking a little bit worn now because it is really drying out there really fast. TK, you're right. Oh, he's purple by 7.5 seconds. Yeah. It's looking good out there. TK, you're right about that tire wear. If it doesn't stay wet, oh, he just got into some wet stuff, got off the dry line. That might help his tires a little bit. Certainly not his time. But yeah, we may have a tire attrition race on our hands, TKs.
Indeed, because it is wearing out. So those who were on the full wets, definitely no chance here. The intermediates working it off. It looks like Island Grown will be the first to finish this qualifying of here. So hopefully his tires, but man, Racer GM's tires looked amazing there. Very interesting to see. But yeah, definitely tire wear is going to have a big play in this, whether drivers choose to start on wets or enters. And we see Island Grown up 4.3 seconds. Looking good in that AMG. He does have that front end damage. Seems to be a pretty common theme for these drivers. A little bit of issues on their outlap, picking up a bit of damage there. Okay, well, I mean, it certainly gives another chance for the drivers to push their way up the timing boards then. So at the moment we've got Pelias Pango in P1, S7R Nuke in P2, Digital Relay in P3. So that is the top 3. But you can see with Island Grown, 4 seconds purple through that sector alone. So currently P8, but at the moment, and maybe it's the same for a lot of the drivers out on circuit, but at the moment doing well here. Maybe he will be propelling himself up into pole position. I guess we'll wait and see. But of course, we have got Caper as well. I think Caper's just in front of Island Grown. So if he is going quicker, then I think maybe Caper will go onto pole position, and we'll see the drivers behind whether or not they have been keeping up to that pace, TKs. Indeed, it'll be interesting to see, because once I guess, yeah, Caper crosses the line, that's when the timer will begin. And it looked like Island just went deep there, unfortunately losing it on that left-hander. Let's take another look at this. You know, trying to figure out where the grip is on those worn tires. He does have the damage coming in here on the left. Does he run up a little bit on that curb? No, he keeps it clean coming into the oh, and he just misses it completely. Unfortunate to see there.
Yeah, that's obviously that's the second carousel there, and you really want to take the inside line on that kind of arched bend, really, the inside to get the best traction out of the corner. But of course, kind of missed his braking a little bit there, and he ran wide and into the wall, and well, he's going to have some severe damage to his car now. But PHG Caper just exiting the final part of the Nordschleife, so just coming into the GP section now and onto the straight. So he needs to be an 8-minute 40, and it looks like he's going to beat it with a plum with an 8-minute 34.184. Tati.
Yep, we called it. Some of the last to cross, the island about to cross now, won't be as good, but it does jump him up to third place, knocks Nuke down, who I think also is on a fast lap right now. We'll see him soon. Mr. Racing should be coming up next. The whole order is up for grabs right now with these drivers.
Look at that.
Pole for Mr. Racing. Get out of here.
Look at those fronts on everybody. There's just no grip left on the fronts, which makes a lot of sense why Island went deep into that corner. Beautiful lap from Mr. Racing. Running that no assist. We thought he was out of it, and he's fully back in.
Wow, amazing. Nuke's on the back straight now, so just a couple more corners before we see his time.
Yes, indeed. He's certainly tight at the top right now, and S7R Nuke, a lot of pressure on his shoulders. Of course, he has won back-to-back victories in Division B. Yeah, currently P5 at the moment. Can he pull something out of the bag here? I mean, his front tires are shot to pieces. I don't think he's going to improve. Well, he will improve, but I don't think he's going to be able to get the pole position time, unfortunately. However, where is that going to put him here? It's going to be beneath the 8-minute 40s, and 8:39.8 moves him up into P3, T-Case.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, that's great finish there, getting through that final sector with no grip at all. Great effort by Nuke. So really the strategy of coming out just a hair later is paying off for a lot of these drivers. Fun to see. And you can see Angry Fredbird has absolutely no grip on his front tires. I'm going to be surprised if he can make this little left-hander, stays out of the barrier, and he just limps across the line there. Great effort, though, from Angry Fredbird.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I mean, literally, I've never seen that before. I mean, that's pretty much all 4 tires gone. So on rims, essentially. But yeah, Mr. Racing, who gets the pole position time with that 8-minute 33.915. Just 2.5 tenths quicker than PHG Caper, and yeah, Caper certainly showing good form as well with S7R Nuke, who we kind of expected to be right up there, qualifying in P3 with the reigning champion of Division B, Police Pango, in P4. Island Grown, who really needs a great result here. We did predict that he probably needs a second position if he's got any chance of qualifying for the finals. A really good performance from him in P5 ahead of Digital Relay in P6. And it seems like every driver behind really struggling in tricky conditions at the Nürburgring here, Tessie.
Yeah, I mean, what can we say? The Nürburgring is a struggle in the dry. This race is not going to be easy for these drivers. I'm very, very, very interested to see how it works out. I think it's going to catch out some people, and maybe the finishing order won't be what we think it is.
I can read them out, no problem. So the classified results from qualifying in the Saturday round 3 at the Nürburgring Endurance. 30-minute qualifying, I think it was in the end. So SRP gets SRP Mr. Racing gets the pole position time with an 8-minute 33.915. As mentioned, just over 2.5 tenths quicker than PHG Caper in second position, with S7R Nuke in third and Police Pango in fourth position. Then on row 3, starting from P5, it's going to be Island Grown, and next to him it's going to be Digital Relay from P6. On row 4, it's going to be BHR Johnny Boy from P7, and the Racer DM starting alongside him in 8th position. On row 5 in P9, it's going to be VIP Ace GT. And starting alongside him in 10th position is going to be PHG Arrow. Then on row 6, it is going to be Angry Fredbird. And starting at the back of the pack alongside him in P12, it's RTS Bandit. But a long race ahead of us. It's a 4-lap race here at the Nürburgring Endurance. And yeah, TK, I mean, what was your thoughts on qualifying? And does that mean anything for the race?
Oh, it means everything for the race, I think. First of all, the top 4, 5, the top 5 there definitely did a faster lap than I would have done in the dry. So shout out to them for getting that done as well as they did. It's going to be all dependent on what the weather does. We know it's going to be wet to start. When does it dry out? When are these drivers going to take their pits? Because we saw that the intermediates only lasted 2 laps and they were dead at the end of 3. So this is going to be really interesting to see. Strategy is going to come into play. These drivers are going to have to look at their radars, and it gets narrow once you get on the Nordschleifer. So passing is difficult.
Yeah, certainly. And Tati, if you was involved in this race, what would be your strategy, especially if you're if you've qualified from near the back of the grid? Tati, I think you might be muted.
Silly microphones.
I am muted. So sorry about that. Silly me. My strategy would be to stay in the pits and just watch it happen from the screens. No, I'm joking. I think, man, I don't know. I think I would stick to what seemed to work in qualifying, which was that the intermediates ended up being king. That may not play into your hands if it only gets wetter, but certainly we saw how the wets did 2 laps in, and who was it that was on him? Was it Arrow who was on, and they were done, absolutely gone. So I don't know that the wets are a good tire to take out here, quite frankly, just because of longevity.
Yeah, well, we know what the weather conditions are going to be like now. So definitely we're going to be starting in the heavy rain. And then it's looking like, because obviously it's random weather conditions through sort of the halfway mark to the end of the race. So we don't really know what's going to happen, whether or not the rain will come back or not. But certainly, it's a little bit unpredictable for the drivers. But we know that them wet tires don't work on a dry circuit, do they, TKs?
No, they don't. Unless they're sport tires, then they work just fine. But since we are on racing tires, they do not. And keeping this track so narrow, keeping it on the dry line is so difficult. It's so fast and flowing. If you mess up your entry to the first turn of a section, that's going to throw off every turn after that, and it can get disastrous really quick. And we already pointed out the damage here. It's a long way back to the pits if you mess that up. I think best overtaking opportunities are going to be in the short GP section at the beginning of the race. Perhaps turn 1, maybe turn 3 can help you out there, and the rest, it's going to be, as you like to say, line astern, going through and maybe just intimidating the driver in front of you going into this.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be an interesting conundrum for the drivers, because yes, you are right, TKs. Once they get onto the Nordschleife part of the circuit, there's not really many opportunities to make a pass, and certainly if you are defending your position, you can make your car as wide as possible. It's near enough impossible for the drivers to get through. So the drivers will definitely need to pick their battles wisely. And certainly I feel like there will be fireworks in the GP part of the circuit. That is where we're going to see a lot of the moves, and certainly down the dotting straight as well. That's where we could see many of the overtakes, but we are just about to get this 4-lap race underway in this crucial round 3 Division B race. What is going to happen here as we await the 5 red lights? Lights are out and away we go. And oh, it looks like Caper did get the best that starts, and it's Polaris Pango that goes up the inside to move up into P2. But Mr. Racing, no problems for him as he gets away with a plum in first position. There's a big gaggle of cars behind with it looked like Nuke was trying to get up the inside, and in fact he does move up into P2 ahead of Polaris Pango in P3. Island Grown up one position as well into P4, and Racer DM in P5. It looks like Caper has lost about 4 positions from the grid start as Polaris Pango fights off Island Grown to stay in 3rd position. Caper, as I said, down into P6 with Johnny Boy just behind him in P7. Digital Relay in P8. Angry Fredbird in 9th position with VIP HGT rounding off the top 10. But we've got side-by-side action between Island Grown and PHG Caper. It looks like Island Grown is going to have the inside line to stay in 5th position. Yeah, they are, as TK said, a line astern right now, but a reasonably clean start at the start of this race, TKs.
Yeah, overall, very, very clean. There was some battling going on. We'll take a look at the start here, and you can see how Caper just lost out. Polaris Pango, Nuke, Island, Digital Relay, all gaining ground. Johnny Boy coming up as well, losing a few positions. There was a little bit of scrapping further back, but overall, very, very clean start. Just a matter of getting off the line, and it does look like all the drivers are on the intermediates.
Okay, interesting. So I think the drivers are looking to stay on them intermediates as long as possible, not trusting the dry lines when they do appear on the end of lap 2, lap 3. So yeah, at the moment it is Mr. Racing, S7R Nuke, Racer DM, Polaris Pango, Island Grown, PHG Caper, BHR Johnny Boy with Digital Relay P8, Angry Fredbird P9, PHG Arrow P10, RTS Bandit up one position to P11, VIP HGT. Looks like he may have had a moment because he is at the back of the grid right now, Tati.
Yes, and no big moment that I saw. I think he was just losing positions. I think just started with a little bit of a slow pace. I was watching the back for all of the start, and you did see some positions get lost. I think it was Arrow who fell down to P12 at the launch, got a slow one, but otherwise it was just as clean as the front.
Yeah, and then round the outside he goes of Angry Fredbird to move up into 9th position now. But we ride on board with RTS Bandit. Now, Bandit's had a pretty slow start, it has to be said, in this championship. Bandit has no points on the board, and well, if he's got any chance of qualifying into the final, he needs a race win. He needs a performance like what's his name, Hulko from yesterday, the last of first, I think, TKs.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, that would be amazing. This is a lot different track to try to pull that off, and a much different car. Looking back, it looks like everybody's still holding position. Johnny Boy was applying some pressure to Caper back there in P7, P6, but has fallen back, and now Digital Relay in P8 applying some pressure. Looks good up front, though, with Mr. Racing and Nuke, both with a decent gap. Racer DM not too far behind, but I'm very impressed with these drivers. I haven't seen any big mistakes. I'm not seeing any damage. So everyone off to a really great start here. The question is, can anyone catch Mr. Racing? Because he is just looking like he is on another level right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking rather good at the moment. Certainly, these are the optimal conditions on these intermediate tyres. As the drivers from Island Grown and downwards start to bunch up. Caper kind of, did he just touch the grass there? I'm not really sure. It looked like he went a little bit too wide for my liking there, and he does fall back a little bit from Polaris Pango's just in front of him in P5. But yeah, certainly a nervy moment for Caper, Tati.
Yeah, I don't know how these drivers are keeping their composure. I mean, just, I guess tiptoeing is one. You know, these cars, they move around. This is GR4. They're not as planted as the GR3 cars are, but obviously we got a bunch of pro drivers here. Oh, these are GR3s. They look like the GR4s. It's so narrow compared to the GT. My bad. Well then, we're just pros here, as you can see, because I would have crashed 5 times already.
Yeah, these are the GT3, the AMG 2011 cars. So I know that this is not really the recognizable car from the Mercedes brand because, of course, we've got the 2020 version. As Johnny has a little bit squibbly on the exit there. Same as Digital Relay as well. So them curves are very, very slippery. But yeah, these are the cars from the GT3 class. Yeah, as mentioned, we've got the 2020 AMG. We've got the 2016 AMG as well, so not a lot of people are aware of the 2011 car, so that is where maybe the confusion comes in. But it's looking like we've got a changing of hands for the race lead because S7R Nuke has propelled himself into the race lead ahead of Mr. Racing. However, we have still got a bit of a battle going on for, between, was it P7 to P9? Arrow goes a little bit wide onto the grass. He won't want to be doing that with a gaggle of cars just behind him in the background as Angry Fredbird starts to close in on him with Bandit as well, looking very competitive there as well, very close to the back of Angry Fredbird in P11, and HGT not too far behind as well as we come through the carousel for the first time of asking. So yeah, very, very tight at the moment, very nervy for the drivers, a lot at stake as well. They know that they need to be as consistent as possible, try to minimize the mistakes as well to get the best position possible. But TK, any drama that you've seen so far?
Just up there at the beginning, you can see there in the picture, which I think is one of the coolest things we have in this league. The battle, we have Racer GM's point of view. Mr. Racing must have made a tiny error allowing Nuke ahead, and that has put him on the back foot, and Racer GM applying a lot of pressure. So the battle for the lead is there, and the battle for not last is there. And everyone's still staying very close and tight on this first lap as we're slowly coming around towards the end, but there's still quite a ways to go. And the rain is still here keeping up, so I imagine they do at least one more lap on these inters before they start thinking about a pit stop.
Yes, indeed.
Has damage.
Oh, okay. Did we see what happened there to Caper there, Tati?
I did not see what happened at all, but he does have damage on that car. It looks like front arrow and front left wheel.
Wow, okay, so picking up damage in the very... oh my god, as the cars bunch up there, Race DM goes very slow, and Island Grown was caught behind him as well as Caper slingshotted his way past the pair of them into P4. Even though we were talking about that damage, something happened with Racer DM, which caused a bit of traffic and a bit of a pile up there, as it looks like Caper has he's gone past Polite Pango as well into P3. So something has happened to a few of these drivers. It looks like quite a number of them are struggling in these deteriorating conditions for the drivers as Polite Pango goes wide and Racer DM up the inside on the second carousel into P4. They are going to be side by side as we go into this right hand, and Racer DM goes wide, hits the barrier, lucky not to pick up damage, but Polite Pango back up into P4, Racer DM down into P5. Johnny Boy is going to power past him into P5, and Island Grown into P6, and Racer DM will sink down to P7 with Digital Relay all over his back bumper as well. Looks like he will have that slipstream. Will he have the space to get past? That is the question, but certainly very intense down the Dottinger Straight here, Tati.
Oh yeah, and meanwhile we had a pass for the lead and a pass back, it looks like, while all of that was happening, but these cars are being 2 and 3 wide here in the wet. Is wild as they come towards the braking zone. Who will make it? Not everyone. That was Island, I think, in the grass. How did he get back on track? What?
I mean, they are going too wide on every corner here, which is not advisable on this particular circuit, but they somehow made it work. But what it will do, though, is the drivers in front will pull away because they're going to have to take it, obviously, a lot slower than those that are on their own on that part of the circuit, at least, as we go side by side yet again between Johnny Boy and Island Grown. Looks like Johnny Boy is going to get his nose in front front to hang on to 6th position. Island Grove down into P7. So it's all changing in the timing boards or the positioning, with Digital Relay trying to size up an opportunity on Island Grove. Isn't going to make it work, and he's going to have to be aware of PHG Arrow, who is lurking in the background very close to him. In fact, he's going to draw alongside him, and PHG Arrow is going to move up into P8, or is he? Because they're still side by side as we go into the hairpin, and Digital Relay around the outside is going to move up into P8, and this is so intense, TKs.
It is so intense, and while all this is going on, Nuke is putting his car exactly where it needs to be as Digital Relay tries to go outside of PHG Arrow. Can he make it stick? Currently ahead, and yes, Arrow has to tuck back in, but Nuke doing an incredible job in that infield section of just making it impossible for Mr. Racing to get around him.
Okay, we're going to look on the replay between Johnny Boy Racer DM and Island Grown. As Island Grown, he had to cut the grass because he had no space, but somehow he made it work. Got on the anchors just in time before he would, plow into the cars in front. And yeah, that was a successful move. However, because he had the dirty tires there, didn't quite get the traction. And there was Johnny Boy Racer DM to go past him again to 5th and 6th, and Island Grove down to 7th. And he had all types of pressure to the cars behind as well. But that was a mad sequence. There's other events with Island Grove in the background spinning out. And we may need to get a replay on that because we just caught the back end shot of that. But it looks like we've had a bit of an accident with Island Grove. Okay, so looking on board with Island Grove, he was in P7 as we went through the twisty section again. Oh, contact with Johnny Boy, and that spun him around. Somehow didn't get damaged. Did Johnny Boy pick up damage? I do wonder, but that was a rather messy moment there, TKs.
Yes, indeed. And Johnny Boy came out of that not great. He's got left wheel, rear bumper, front bumper, and right wheel damage. So he is going to be hurting. Currently sitting in P6, trying to catch that group ahead of him as he has Digital Relay and Arrow just behind. As Digital Relay thinks about going for it, ends up not having enough space as Johnny Boy closed the door. This is going to be tough for Johnny Boy, I think.
Yes, I think it will do, because yeah, certainly down the straights he's going to be losing so much time and speed, and that is where he's going to come under severe pressure from all the drivers behind. But we look back on board with the race leaders, so Nuke has got an advantage over SRP Mr. Racing by about 7/10 of a second, but PSG Caper not too far behind in 3rd, and actually there's a big gaggle of cars just behind with Racer DM in P4 and Polaris Pango P5 and that group of cars. So actually very tight at the top. So it does show that one mistake and that could prove vital as PHG Caber goes a little bit deep into the left-hander there. He will lose a little bit of time to Mr. Racing. However, he managed to save it. He managed to keep the car on the circuit vitally, so not losing too much time, and definitely didn't lose a position to Race DM. But however, they are starting to close in now, Tessie.
Yeah, they are. Nuke is starting to a little bit of separation between himself and Mr. Racing. The last I checked, it was like 1.1 seconds, which of course at the green hell is almost nothing, but these cars are starting to catch up. So a 4-way battle for first, 5-way battle sounds like a lot of fun to me. These drivers are having a great time, and I want to see more of that for them.
Yeah, they are. Well, to be honest, I think S7R Nuke's eyes have lit up because he has managed to pull a bit of a gap to SRP Mr. Racing, because it does look like he has been going sideways for the last couple of corners. So that has enabled the pack behind to catch up. So certainly now it could go either way with these drivers. But as we know, TKs, in these types of conditions, one mistake and that can cost you.
Indeed, it's Racer DM clearly getting a better exit there. Makes an easy pass on Caper and tucks it back into the racing line. I noticed the tire wear isn't nearly as bad here. Track's been a little bit wet, but it is drying out, and I'm curious to see if anybody's brave enough to hop into the pits at the end of this lap for some slicks, you got to be very confident on the line you have to take. But overall, looking good. A few drivers have damage, and you can see there again in the picture-in-picture, the battle for P6 is definitely on. Mr. Racing just trying to stabilize himself and keep up with Nuke.
Yes, indeed. Well, I can't quite see the dry line, but it does seem like the rain has stopped. So I heard an all in the background. Tell us what happened there, Tassie.
Sorry, just a nice pass by digital relay on Johnny Boy. Maybe a little bit elbows out, but it's a narrow track. What can you do? You're probably going to have to touch somebody to make a pass here. So he got around him, and it's already building a gap between himself and Johnny Boy and Arrow behind.
Okay, so it is literally action galore in the pack behind, but certainly, you know, the drivers at the top end of the grid, they don't want to be fighting. They just want to be pulling away. However, they're having a whale of a time in the midfield pack. And yeah, Johnny Boy, Arrow, P7, P8. So Arrow trying to keep tabs on Johnny Boy. Now we know that Johnny Boy has got extreme damage. PSG Arrow has got front aero damage, so that is going to be slowing him down. But Johnny Boy has got front and rear damage, which I'm quite surprised that he still finds himself in 7th position. But yeah, as we kind of mentioned though, in this section, it's difficult to get passes done, as it looked like Arrow went a little bit wide on the exit, I think. But yeah, certainly VIP Ace with his hazard lights on. Is that a way to deter the drivers behind you guys?
Maybe some mind games, or maybe things have just gotten so heated, a button got pushed, and you know, he's so focused he doesn't have time to worry about some blinkers going on. But drivers are catching each other in this twisty section all the way up and down the field. The gaps are growing and shrinking, and now you can see on the moisture meter it is approaching Slick's territory as we start to come towards the end of this race. I want to see somebody be bold and brave and go onto the slicks, and potentially it could be somebody with some excessive damage, so they can get that taken care of.
Yes, indeed, and they're just coming through the second carousel. There's PSG Arrow got a little bit sideways on the exit there, but this is the all-important straight where moves can be pulled here. So PSG Arrow may be in a little bit of a sitting duck from the cars behind, and same too with SRP Mr. Racing, although he has closed that gap to about 1.1 seconds to Nuke. However, you can see the delta between the drivers. The gap between Mr. Racing and Racer is coming down. It is beneath 0.3 of a second as we get to the brow of the hill. It looks like Racer DM is in a great position, however decides to bump on Mr. Racing so that they can catch up with the race leader S7R Nuke as we go into the heavy braking zone, and gets it nailed on with the brakes, as looks like the drivers are not confident enough to go onto the slick tires. So as you can see, they're pulling over to the wet part of the circuit to try to cool down the tires and try to save them intermediate tires, Tassie.
Yes, I was watching Caper to see if he would jump in, because he does have damage, which shouldn't seem to affect him too bad on that long back straight. But I thought maybe he would take a chance. We can see the sun coming out. The sky is blue in this shot right now, so that track is going to get more and more dry. Maybe we'll see some pits for the start of lap 4.
No, we're seeing it right now. Island Grown in last place. He had that big accident with damage. The track is the driest for him because he's so much further back. He is going into the pits, so this should be interesting to see if he's able to gain on these guys coming out here. As Mr. Racing, defending against Racer DM, takes the inside, trying to block and defend and keep his P2 while gaining on Nuke.
Yes, indeed, and Racer DM doing really well at the moment. We know about Racer DM. It's all or nothing for him. You know, he's languishing at the foot of the championship for Division B, and just trying to look at the stats. I do believe he does need to get a race victory here, or it might be second or better, I think, but certainly in a good position where he can at least challenge for the victory today. So doing a really good job, actually. And oh, there's a slight bit of contact with PSG Caper as he looked to go up the inside. He thought there was a gap open, and there's damage as well, I think, because Caper has run into the back of Racer DM. I don't know if Racer DM has just picked up damage or not, but if he has, that is going to be absolutely crucial in this race, Tati.
Yes, no damage for DM for Racer, but Caper already had that damage, so no new damage for him there. Man, I want to point out a difference between the intermediates of these drivers running up front and the inters on some of the cars in the back. Like, the further back you are, the worse your inters are. It's very interesting. Bandit, VIP Ace, Johnny Boy, their fronts are so worn out in comparison to everyone up at the very front of the pack. That's going to affect those drivers because they didn't pit.
Indeed, yeah, you make a good point. I mean, I think maybe the front runners have had less drama, so not been, using them tyres too much and really saving on them. But also as well, the front runners tend to have a wetter circuit as they go through the puddles. It kind of sprays the puddles to the side and then makes the track drier for the cars towards the back of the grid, I guess. I don't know, that's just a guess from me. PSG Caper goes a little bit wide and just about saves it. Nearly had a heart attack there, but yeah, he was very close to the back of Pango. He had lost a few tenths of a second, but certainly a very, very scary moment there, Tigos.
Indeed. I mean, he can't lose any ground to these guys, and every little mistake is going to affect that. But what an amazing save to keep it on the track. I have been keeping an eye on Island. He had a little bit of a 360 into turn one, but kept it going, and now running pretty smooth. He does have a 3-second pit lane penalty, but he is making some ground now on the drivers ahead that are still on the inters.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, this is the window of the race now where the intermediates... Oh, Pango goes wide! He goes wide onto the wet line. Caper down the inside, moves up into P4. Polites Pango down to P5. Lucky he didn't have any more cars behind him in close proximity of him, so only loses one position. But yeah, bad mistake from Pango. Caper took full advantage. Now Caper will be focusing on Racer DM for that third position, Tati.
Yeah, man, out of that whole top pack of drivers, Polites had the worst tires, and I think maybe that might have caught him out a little bit. But of course, it's hard to go from this dry line that you see people running on, and as soon as you touch the wet, the grip is way different, and it's often too late to change anything about it. This is the danger for Island Grown, by the way. It's a very narrow track, and there's only one dry line, and he can't go on the wet stuff at all.
No, he can't. No, he can't. But you can see that it's a gamble worth taking for Island Grown because he really does need the points if he is to qualify for the finals in a few weeks' time. So good luck to Island Grown, but we are looking on board with the top three drivers. Race DM is all over the back bumper of Mr. Racing, fighting for that second position. Mr. Racing is going to try and stay in that slipstream of Nuke, who's just in front. It's looking like Racer DM is maybe trying to push Mr. Racing on to really squeeze the gap between the three drivers and really apply that pressure to S7R Nuke. We are talking about half a second separating the top three drivers, so anything can happen in the top three, and as we mentioned with Racer DM, I actually did check these stats. He needs the race victory if he is to qualify into the finals. So yeah, he's doing a great job at the moment, and just needs to keep it consistent. But I think the interesting thing is going to be, are the drivers going to stay out on the intermediates for the last lap of the race, or are they going to transfer over to slicks, because them tires are going to be hurting right now on this ever increasing dry circuit. Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
We just lost digital relay. He just disconnected.
Oh wow, that is a turn up for the books then. So digital relay, who was, I think it was running in P7, was it? Last time we looked. So that well, Digital Relay, we know he's on the verge of qualifying. We don't know quite yet whether or not he will qualify or not, but that is disaster for Digital Relay, and certainly gives a better chance of the drivers in this race to qualify into the finals, Tassie.
Yeah, that's true. It's one less name in the hat. Of course, I don't know if Visual Relay has already clinched or not. I think we have that listed here, but unfortunate for him, he's not going to gain any points tonight to help him. And if he does make it, I guess that means he'd be starting at towards the back of the grid as well. No qualifying position, right?
No, that's very true. That's very true.
I want to point out real quick, we did get a donation from Boba Gito, currently rocking it in Division A. $20. Let's go, drivers. Goal for today is to get Flawed, Tati, and TKs to lose their voices by the end of the day. Well, you guys are well on your way, and thank you so much, Boba Gito, and good luck to you this afternoon.
Yeah, that shouldn't be difficult with my record, to be honest, but but something that we are starting to see, though, is SRP Mr. Racing getting increasingly close to the back of S7R Nuke as we do approach the Dottinger Straight. And Mr. Racing goes a bit wide onto the grass, and Racer DM up the inside to move up into P2 with a major error there from Mr. Racing, because you can tell that he wanted to get a good run out of the last corner to really try to power pass S7R Nuke, but a vital error from Mr. Racing puts him down into P3. But Racing DM is now catching up with S7R Nuke, trying to challenge for the race lead here. As we come to the brow of the hill and down the hill now, the gap is dwindling down from half a second down to 4/10 and closing as well. He's not going to be able to make the move as we go into the braking zone. However, what is going to happen here now? Are they going to pit for slicks? Are they going to stay out on the intermediates? It's looking like Nuke is going to stay out, and Racer DM comes into the pits to get onto them slick tires, with Mr. Racing also staying out, who moves up into P2, PhD Caper into P3. So Racer DM and Police Pango are going to sink down, but are they going to claw back the deficit there, Tati?
I don't think that they are. I knew that a lot of people were going to stay out because everyone was running their tires through that wet spot on the back straight, which, there's no reason to try to save tires you're about to pit on. Everyone's going to stay out. It's a pretty long pit lane around here. And you only have one more lap to make up for it if you get on those soft tires. I don't know if it's worth it. I think pitting was a mistake here. Unless, I think for some people, their tires are dead. There's nothing you can do.
Well, I think a lot of the drivers have made the mistake there because
Bandit. Spin for Bandit.
There it is.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. The drama for everyone. 3 seconds for Racer DM. As far as he's got a 3-second penalty, I guess, from going in the pits as well. Wow, that was a disaster for a lot of people. Arrow with a 3-second penalty also. And then I think Bandit picked up a penalty with whatever just happened to him.
Look at Johnny Boy's tires. They are destroyed. I think the ones who pitted, if they're confident enough, I think it was the right choice, because everybody who stayed out, like we saw earlier, is drying out the track. So the track's going to be even drier after their pit stop. And we're seeing Polias Pango using those racing softs, getting by Johnny Boy no problem as he runs too deep.
Yeah, and looking on board of the replay now, so we saw Johnny Boy just in front, and he's got them dying intermediate tyres, I do believe, as we come through the hairpin. Oh, there was a slight bit of contact from behind, and that's what put him wide onto the gravel track there. Polias Pango going a little bit deep and running into the back of him, and he may pick up a penalty from that. Pre-steward investigations. So Polias Pango has got that 3-second penalty to serve. I was going to mention about Pango. How he got that was because he spun on the exit of the pit lane where it's still soaking wet on the slick tires. The tires couldn't grip, and he did cut the pit lane line. So he will serve that penalty at some point during this lap. But something I did notice, yes, TKs, just to allude to your point, VIP Ace, look at his tires. Look at Angus Redbird's tires. surely they're not going to last on this last lap. When they, well, you can see Johnny Boy already with not only front and rear damage to that car, but also nothing on them front tires. That car is going to struggle to turn for most of this lap, I think, T-Case.
Yeah, it definitely is, but it is going to be, well, as you see there, he just understeers off the track. It is going to be hard for these guys on the slick tire to pass, though, because the dry line is very narrow. And as we saw with Pelias Pango on the pit exit, if you get on the wet stuff, there's just no grip. I also want to point out the Crawler with a $4.99 super chat. The commentators are putting in the work. Great stuff. GL to all racers today. Thank you so much to Crawler, and good luck to you this afternoon as well.
Johnny Boy just disconnected.
Yeah, Johnny Boy just disconnected, so he is out of the running for the finals now. I think maybe a rage quit there because he did need a second or better to qualify, and his race was over there. So I do feel like I know that it's difficult to run the slick tires when you've got a narrow dry line, but I think a lot of the drivers made a massive mistake on staying on the intermediate tires where they've got no grip left. So the front runners, well, I mean, PhD Caper, he's one of them drivers right now with barely anything on the front left tire. Mr. Racing, he has got a little bit of grip left, but there's still a long way to go in this lap, and we've seen how quickly them tires do degrade in what is a dry circuit for these intermediate tires. Nuke has got a 4.7 second lead to Mr. Racing now. It's going to be interesting to see what Nuke's tires are like. Pelias Pango is, I guess, the leader of the slick runners out there, currently in P4. The gap is 17.6 seconds to PHG Caper, but again, with Pelias Pango, costly mistake on the exit of the pit lane there, because he's got that 3-second penalty. He is going to have to serve it on the, I think it's the Dottinger straight, isn't it? So yeah, he's going to try to gap the drivers behind in Racer DM, who was 9 seconds in behind him, sorry, with S7R Nuke. 5.4 seconds is the lead now. Looking at his tire life, I've seen better, but I've also seen worse in this race as well. As he just about holds on to it there, but yeah, it looks like the gap is increasing to SRP Mr. Racing. But I heard a little bit of a gasp from Tati. What happened there?
That was Caper who's chasing Mr. Racing for P2. They've been bumper to bumper, but he just went wide in a right-hander. His front left is looking pretty bad. He's one of the ones who stayed out on the inters. So is Mr. Racing, but his look a little bit better. I have to qualify my earlier statement that it was a mistake for anyone who had nice intermediates to pit. Everyone else who didn't y'all should have pitted for sure.
Yeah, all those drivers further back, that was the right call. I think, yeah, like you said, Nuke and Mr. Racing probably okay, and everybody else maybe should have, because I've been looking, and the soft tire runners have been making moves on the intermediate drivers that were ahead of them.
Yeah, and speaking of which, Caper, he's got nothing on them front tires now, and you can see visibly the gap is closing at an alarming rate between Caper and Pelias Pango. Of course, Pango on the soft tires. Last time we looked, the gap was about 12 seconds. It's already down to beneath 8 seconds now. Now, I know with Pango, he does need to serve that 3-second penalty crucially, but he might even make the overtake before he even serves that penalty, because the gap is now down to 5 seconds, T-Case.
Wow, that is incredible. And it looks like most of the drivers who did pit for softs got that penalty. You always forget how slick the pit lane is on exit when you're switching to the softs, but I'm very impressed with these slick tire runners, how well they're able to keep it on the dry line. And just look at him charging towards PHG Caper, now down to 2 seconds. This penalty is going to hurt him quite a bit, but I imagine Caper's going to have a tough time on exit getting onto the straight, so it could even out, as he has now officially caught Caper, and it's just a matter of dispatching him and going and stretching his legs on those slicks. He's having a hard time getting in there. The dry line is very narrow, and Caper is doing a great job keeping his car where it needs to be, not letting Pelias Pango have any inch onto that dry line and forcing him to stay stuck behind. But no, Caper goes deep and understeers off, and that allows Pelias Pango. He was just applying the pressure, waiting for that mistake to happen, and now we're going to see how this penalty affects him.
Well, the gap between them is 2.5 seconds, but he's going to serve that penalty now as Racer DM was part. Well, sorry, he also had a penalty as well. Sorry, and Pelias Pango will lose that position to Caper as he served that 3-second penalty. That will hurt him massively. But S7R Nuke, with nothing left on his front tires, has got a comfortable lead in front by 7 seconds as he exits the Nordschleife for the last time, gets onto the pit wall straight, and he's going to win round 3 of Division B. So congratulations for S7R Nuke with Mr. Racing. Looks like he's going to come across the line in second position. Congratulations to Mr. Racing. Of course, both drivers already qualified into the Division B finals with PhD Caper. He's going to finish just in front of Pelias Pango to finish on podium. Pelias Pango P4. Racing team has lost it. He's lost it. He's not. Oh no, he has come across the line. I do apologise. I do apologise. I thought he lost it before the start, before the checkered line there. So he finishes in P5. PHG Arrow is going to come across the line to finish in 6th position. It's going to be touch and go whether or not that is good enough for him. Same with Racer DM as well, and Pelias Pango. I think Pelias Pango may just about qualify into the Division B finals, but Racer DM and Arrow is right on the cusp. I think with Island Grown P7, that is definitely not good enough for him, but a valiant effort from Island Grown as we see Angry Fredbird now come down the final straight to finish in 8th position with VIP HGT 15 seconds behind. He will finish in P9 and RTS Bandit in 10th position. But Tassie, what a phenomenal race that was. What are your thoughts after that?
I knew those penalties were going to come into play. You have to serve it in the worst spot. I mean, the Dottinger Hoa is it makes up a lot of time, and if you have to come to a stop for 3 whole seconds there, anyone who's behind you is going to pass you, and you're not going to catch him again. And as we saw, Caper came into those final corners with no tread on either front tire, and still managed to get to the line before the cars behind him had to serve that penalty. That sucks, but that's what it is. Congrats to Nuke, by the way.
Yep, 3rd victory in a row. He has that 100% record in Division B, so congratulations to Nuke on the race victory. And we'll just give you the provisional race results from round 3, Saturday Division B. So just confirmation that S7R Nuke did grab the race victory by a comfortable margin over SRP Mr. Racing with another fantastic display of driving from him. He finishes in 2nd position. To round off the podium, we have PhD Caper with an excellent finish, literally 0.3 of a second separating him and Pelias Pango. Really struggled to get that car across the line, but he did so to finish in P3, and Pelias Pango in 4th position. Then in 5th position was Racer DM. I suspect that was not good enough for him to qualify into the Division B finals, but we will see the standings later on in the broadcast. PSG Arrow again on the cusp. We don't know whether or not that's good enough, but he did grab an excellent 6th position ahead of Island Grown in P7, where we feel like that's not enough for him. Angry Fredberg comes across the line in 8th position. And then in 9th position, again with VIP Ace, he really needed to leave everything on the table. P9, not good enough for him. Unfortunately, he will not be making it to the finals with RTS Bandit as well. Needing the race victory, gets a solitary point for his efforts in P10. But he'll be bowing out of the competition as of today, with Digital Relay getting a DNF and BHR Johnny Boy also getting a DNF. So, yeah, what a phenomenal race we just witnessed there. at the at the Nürburgring endurance layout. TK, what are your thoughts from this race?
That was incredible. I mean, I was surprised at how many position changes we had. We had multiple position changes for the lead, drivers moving up and down the grid. And I got to say, I'm very impressed with Island Grown coming back to finish P7 after being over a minute behind everybody else, taking the gamble and pitting early. And while it didn't get him as much points as he would have liked, it was a very great drive to get back to where he was. And, you know, not giving up is always a positive.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, it was scary for a lot of drivers, wasn't it? And there was some really great calls made. There was maybe not so good calls made from some of the drivers, but certainly the drivers were very brave out there in what was very, very tricky conditions for the drivers at what is possibly the most difficult circuit in all of sim racing. So congratulations to all the drivers that competed out there today. And yeah, we've got some of the drivers from the podium that have joined us. So we're going to go and interview and get the thoughts of them drivers right now. So we are going to start off with our race victor. That is S7R Nuke with his third victory in a row. Nuke, congratulations to you. A great performance from you. How are you feeling after that?
I'm exhausted. Not my favorite track. And I'm just exhausted. Did a lot of practice and really wasn't expecting to pull off a first place today, to be quite honest. So definitely, I'm excited but exhausted. Feel bad for digital disconnecting. That just breaks my heart. But yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah, we can hear it in your voice, but to be honest, it was well worth it because it was a fantastic performance from you. You qualified in P3. You managed to get into the race lead. You fended off all the drivers behind and you stayed there. Just need to ask you really, Nuke, with the weather conditions where, you know, we knew that the first half of the race was going to rain and then it was going to be random afterwards. I'm guessing you did a ton of practice before. So did the practice, was the conditions in practice, the same as the race, or was it very, very different?
It was similar, but it really, what the real hinge pin was what happened with the random sectors. So, I mean, you know, I knew I could do 3. I switched to the intermediate strategy about midweek. So I knew, I felt that was right because you picked up too much time on lap 2 and lap 3. The question was, were your tires going to last for lap 4? And that all depended on, 1, the number of cars on the track, and number 2, you know, what the random sectors did. So I had a cutoff where I would have pitted at the end of lap 3 or not. And to be honest, I was right at it. I mean, I had just a sliver of tire left at the end of the race. So I was right at my limit. But I decided to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, well, it certainly paid off for you because you ended up winning the race by a comfortable margin. So congratulations to you, Nuke. I'm going to pass you over to Tati, teammate, of course, to congratulate you and ask you a few questions. So Tati, take it away.
Hey, Nuke, how you doing?
Daddy, how are you?
I'm good. Congratulations on another win. At this point, you're pitching a no-hitter. Like we're there. For the regular season, at least it is a no-hitter, a complete shutout. There is one last race though. Do you think you have it in you to win it? I think at this point you clearly have shown that you can dominate in whatever the combo is. Are you going to carry that confidence into this final?
You know, it's all going to depend on the combo, to be honest. You know, so we'll just see what that brings us. You know, I obviously feel pretty good going in. I think there's some pretty stiff competition right here in this group, and there's stiff competition over on the other side on the Fridays. You know, I haven't run against those guys, so I really don't know where I stack up. You know, with them. So I'm just looking forward to it. I'm gonna practice like crazy, and we'll just go from there. But you know, I feel good about what's happened in the last three, but that's what's already happened, and we'll just look forward to what comes. I don't have any real expectations.
Heard, I believe in you. Congratulations again on winning the regular season. We'll see you in a couple weeks, or is it? I think it's next week. Sorry,
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
two,
Right.
3 weeks.
The 15th. Okay, 3.
Oh, my
More time.
calendar is so wrong.
More time to practice.
Exactly. And T-Case as well. Any questions?
Yeah, Newt, great job. I mean, this is getting to be pretty normal for you. Well done, well done. I'm curious, when you saw some of those drivers that were close to you hop into the pits there on that final lap, did you get a little nervous, or were you confident you're going to take it to the end?
Yeah, I mean, I saw him go in. I wasn't too nervous. I didn't feel like my pace was going to be too far off. I mean, based on where everybody was behind me, I was probably about halfway through that lap. I was backing off, but I wasn't too concerned, even if they came out on a slick tire, because that's very, very risky. We tried that in practice, and I don't have the skill to do that. Maybe some of those guys did if they came out on a slick tire, but I don't have the skill. I didn't have the skill to. It was just too wet still on the fringes, and you play a lot in the fringes on this track, and so. But I wasn't, I felt good. I was more worried about Mr. Racing behind me, but I know he was struggling with fuel, and then Caper was strong all race, and I was like, okay, what's he holding back? Is he fuel? What's he holding? What's he holding? I know he got right up to Mr. Racing. I guess that was right during the third lap, and then we got some separation there. So, but no, the guys that jumped in the pits, I wasn't too worried about them, just based on practice.
Right on. Well, you made that look easy, and you deserve a good long break. So great job, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, Nuke, rest up. It sounds like you need it after that one, and hopefully you can stick around to see what the Division B combo for the grand finale is towards the end of the broadcast. But definitely have a beer or whatever refreshment that you like to have, and just a big pat on the back for you for such a great performance today.
Appreciate it. I'll be watching with bated breath. Good luck to my S7R teammate Rusty Maggots in the next race. And just again, thanks to Naughty and the broadcast team. You guys just put on an excellent show, and I really appreciate the time and effort that you guys put into this for all of us. So thank you.
You're very welcome. It's a real pleasure, and congratulations on today. Thank you very much for the compliments, and we'll look forward to seeing how you get on in 3 weeks' time.
Roger that. See you on the 15th.
See you on the 15th. Take care, Nuke.
Thank you.
Okay, and it looks like we have just got one of the drivers in for our interviews. In fact, it is called, as what I can see, it's actually Shaunsey.
There's Mr. Racing.
Oh no, Mr. Racing is there. Sorry, it just popped up as I looked there. So, congratulations on second place, Mr. Racing. As Nuke said in the interview there, he's absolutely knackered from that. How are you feeling after grabbing your second place?
I'm feeling erratic. It was crazy how that race turned out. Like, from strategy to tires to fuel to the driver performances, I really was surprised with, and it was a really intense race.
Yeah, it certainly looked like an emotional roller coaster. Tell us about the race. Also, tell us about the strategy as well. I mean, was you expecting it to be dry for the second half of the race? And tell us about your thinking about staying on them intermediate tires.
So really early in the week, I didn't know it was going to dry out. I had the wrong lobby setting, so I was practicing with a full rain stint. And then turns out today I found out that there was going to be a dry, last part of the race. So I had improvised. I try to manage my tires as much as I can, manage my fuel, and do everything in my power to compromise, like keep that second position, because Caper was right behind me, and I knew if I had let off one little second, I would lose the second place position. So, and the mediums, I really had regretted my decision right after I passed the pit lane. I didn't know if it was the right decision because I had exactly 1 lap left of fuel and barely any tires. So I put the fuel map to 6, and just only put it back up to 1 if I was on a straight and Caper was, about to pass me. I did a pretty good job holding him off. Um, really hard holding him off. And yeah, it was luck, real luck.
Well, somehow you did it, and you did grab that second place. So congratulations to you, Mr. Racing. I'm going to pass you over to TK. I'm sure he's got many a question for you. So TK, take it away.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Racing. Great job yet again. I'm curious, were you surprised that you put it on pole, or were you kind of expecting that? What was your qualifying strategy?
Well, really, I came in hard-headed. I did not have no strategy. Really, I was more focused on the race, but I did not expect to put it on pole. I thought I was gonna get, podium, because I already expected Nuke was gonna put it on pole because he's a really fast driver. But how do I say this? I think it was unfair with the quality settings a little bit. I was happy that I got pole position, obviously, but I felt bad for the people that actually put in work for qualifying and didn't know the time was up to 10 minutes, or the ending time. I forgot what it's called. So it really helped the people with the extra lap with a whole dry line and could improvise like 8 seconds to put it on pole. And I got lucky enough. I got an extra lap with damage. I didn't know I was gonna put it on pole. I thought I was gonna put it on top 3, and then at the end of the lap, I managed to put it on pole. It was really surprising.
Well, awesome. I mean, you did a great job, and a great job in the race. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And finally, Tati, any questions, thoughts towards Mr. Racing?
Yeah, Mr. Racing. I mean, you had such an up and down race, it feels like. But at no point, I can't think that did you ever like lose the top three. I don't think you ever fell out of it. But so obviously you have pace around this place, and maybe consistency was a little bit difficult for you there. The pole position, of course, was well deserved. I'm glad that you did get that. But at any point, were you nervous that you were absolutely going to completely lose it? Because I think there were a few times where I thought that was it for you.
Yeah, for qualifying and for the race, I was nervous because I'd done a few months back this track in IRO and it did not turn out great. So I made it in my power to practice a good amount and make sure I was on track, try to be consistent. Qualifying was a little bit of a struggle. The track felt way different from how it was for practice for me. Some of the corners I could, just lift, or maybe just coast, but I had to, sometimes break hard on some corners, which really caught me off guard and threw me off the track like you saw in qualifying. I was really upset with that. But the race, yeah, I was really nervous I was gonna lose it. For the first time in practice and qualifying, I put on traction, um, and it really had helped. But yeah, I was very nervous I was gonna lose it, or bomb the race.
Yeah. Well, we noticed that you weren't running traction control in qualifying. I don't think you were running it in the race either, which just speaks to your insane throttle control. You deserve this, and I can't wait to see how you do in the finals.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I second that as well. It was a phenomenal performance from you. You said about managing your tires and your fuel, and yeah, you kept it on track. More importantly, and you was able to secure that second place. So congratulations to you. And yeah, we look forward to seeing how you get on in the finals, because you have definitely qualified.
Thank you so much. I wanna say something before I leave. I wanna say, because I didn't get to say this last interview, I wanna say thank you to the boys, which are MMR. They really helped me in every race I do. I don't think I would be up to this level without them. Like Moose, Jorge, Tuzum, Kevin, Oak, and more drivers that I'm too nervous to name right now because I'm not remembering. But yeah, also my cousin, I know he's watching, and yeah, it was awesome. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Mr. Racing, and good luck in the finals in a few weeks' time. Yeah, rest up. You definitely deserve that, and stick around to the end of the broadcast for the Division B combo at the end.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Racing. Okay, and last but not least, our third place finisher. It is PHG Caper, otherwise known as Shaunzi. Congratulations on that third place. I've got to say, towards the end, it was looking a little bit nervy for you, particularly with pretty much no tire grip left. Explain to us how you're feeling and your emotions going into that last lap there.
Well, I mean, I can't believe I'm back on the podium again. I got lucky. I mean, really, it was the 3-second penalties to DM and Pango that got it. And I mean, Pango was right on me when I finished. In practice, I was able to hang on to the tires for the last lap, but it dried out quicker this race, and I just didn't realize it burned them up till I was racing with Mr. Racing.
Yeah, it looked a real struggle for you at the end there. Even though Police Pango did serve that 3-second penalty, that obviously was crucial for you in getting that third place. We didn't realize how close it was going to be at the end there. So, an amazing drive from you, PHG Caper. And I'm going to pass you over to Tati because I don't want to hog all the questions there. So, Tati, take it away.
Hey, Caper, you also had a real up and down race. I mean, again, several moments where it didn't look great. One thing I definitely noticed I was watching was as you approached those final few corners in that last lap, tires are completely dead. There's nothing up front. You've got Police Pango, and I think it was Racer DM right behind you. What was going through your head as far as like making sure you got the car slowed down and turned? Do you have any experience?
That's easy, Taddy. The whole second half of that lap, I was just going, "Don't crash, don't crash, don't crash."
I thought you were just gonna straight line the end of it. I was like, he's just gotta aim for the
No.
left-hander. Man, well, you pulled that off. I don't even have any questions. That was just brilliant driving, and congratulations on the podium.
Thank you.
And finally, T-Case.
Yes, sir. Well done. Well done. That was a great effort there. I'm curious because this isn't a car that's used very often. What did you think about the car? Did you enjoy it, or was it a bit of a struggle?
Well, it's a car that's not used often by most people, but I like it.
Okay.
I use it in dailies. It's got great top end. It doesn't handle the best, but it really catches people out on the straights how fast it is. And the bottom end of the motor, it's like at the low RPM, it really accelerates well, and I like that.
Awesome, man. Well, great job. That was a very impressive showing today, and looking forward to seeing you in the finals as well.
Yeah, me too. Happy birthday, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It's T-Case's birthday.
Yes, yeah, it was my birthday yesterday. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Everybody.
Yeah, just to reiterate.
Nothing.
Just to reiterate, Caper, congratulations on that third position. Just final question to you, really, Caper. So, looks like you have definitely qualified for the Division B finals. So, are you feeling confident ahead of the final? Is it really down to what combo is in store for you guys for that Division B final?
I don't know. I think Nuke, Mr. Racing, I think Digital. There's actually a lot of fast guys in these lobbies right now, and even Arrow and Root and Island is doing well too. I find that some guys are going to be better on some combos than others. I mean, obviously Nuke is just lights out. He's driving so well, but I mean, a combo kit for me can't get any worse than this. Rain, Nürburgring, hate them both. But I have done McNaughty finals before, and I know he will definitely have something in his bag of tricks.
Yeah, he certainly will do. Yeah, I can only imagine what's going to come up. But But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what it is towards the end of the broadcast. But you've definitely earned that well-deserved break there. So go and rest up and have a nice cold drink or something. And good luck for the grand finale in 3 weeks' time.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much,
Take care.
Caper. Thank you, Caper. Take care. Okay, so that is our thoughts from the top 3 drivers, all 3, of course, qualifying into the grand finale for Division B. So that is round 3 wrapped up for Division B. So we're going to head off for a brief intermission. So go and grab yourself a refreshment. And when we come back, it is the crucial round robin for our Division A drivers. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back very shortly. Welcome back to part 2 of Saturday for our round 3 races. So, without further ado, it's time to introduce our last race for today. It's round 3 of Saturday Division A. So this time we head over to the beautiful Sardinia in Italy for the Sardinia Windmills Rally Circuit in this crucial round conundrum. Round 3 of Saturday Division A. We have a 10-minute qualifier ahead of a 24-lap race with a full start check to begin proceedings. Track length is 2.06 miles with a total of 14 turns, and drivers will be using the Honda NSX Group B rally car. This is a four-wheel drive car producing 557 brake horsepower at 7,500 RPM, weighing in at 2,866 pounds in this turbocharged machine. As this is a rally race, all race settings are disabled with just dirt tires available, and damage, as always, set to heavy. Tati, can you remind us of the point scoring system we have for this season, please?
Yes, sir. So the race winner will get 25 points, second place gets 15 points, and third place gets 15 crucial points towards getting into the final. Every position down to 10th place thereafter will also score points. The fastest lap will get a 1-point bonus if they finish in the top 10. So after this, obviously our top 14 overall divisional drivers across Friday and Saturday will move forward into the final round.
Thank you, Tati. I just want to correct something. Damage is actually is actually disabled for this race. And TKs, if you can read us on our Saturday Division A lineup, please.
Yes, indeed. First off, we have from Papa's House of Game, Banana. Then we have the Beehive Racing, BHR J Dog, and then another Beehive Racing, BHR Josh Moment, followed by a VIP Victory in Performance Racing, DeCrawler. Then we have Full Acceleration Force, FAF Bobajito, followed by his teammate Wade. Then we have the Free Agent Felmora, K Naranjo, aka Oak from MMR Moose Mafia Racing. We got Papa's House of Game Lyric, Sector 7 Racing, Rusty Maggots, Free Agent The Kai, another Victory in Performance Racing, Almost Podium, followed by his teammates Cyrus, Nikki, and Left to Pass You. And you can see on the right hand side, some of those drivers do have YouTubes or Twitch accounts, and a lot of them will be streaming, so be sure to go check them out and give them some support. But keep us on, because this is where all the action's going to be.
Thank you, TKs. And a very unusual combo, but something we did expect, because the Friday heats had the rally for Division A before, so it was to be expected it was going to happen for the Saturday drivers. But a very different discipline for the drivers nevertheless. Now, we know there's a lot at stake going into this Division A round 3. But rally, not for everyone, Tessie.
No, it's not for everyone. It's not easy to get right. And there are some who would argue that the rally physics in this game aren't the best. I don't know. I can't speak to that. But this track, Sardinia, I used to spend a lot of time at in GT Sport, and I think it's pretty fun. A lot of good passing points on this track, even though there aren't very many braking points.
Yeah, a lot of sideways action, of course. But TK, I mean, you're normally one to go for the kind of unusual combos, particularly with like the road cars and stuff. So, TK, tell us about the NSX Group B rally car, because it's not your normal rally car.
No, it's not. You wouldn't expect a mid-engine car to be rallying around here as these drivers get started on qualifying. You can see it's all about chucking the car in and carrying as much speed as possible. There's a lot of spots where these drivers are going to get air, and it's important to have your car pointed in the right direction. Otherwise, your landing can really mess it up. And I want to point out something that I heard on the latest episode of the Dumb Guys Do Racing podcast. Tati was on there, and of course, those guys are talking about VR, as they do. But they made a great point about how specifically in rally, you have the advantage in VR, because when you are sideways, pointed at the apex or pointed at the wall, you can actually look out your passenger window and see where you're going. So if any of these drivers are in VR, they may have a slight advantage there of just being able to have better visibility. So I'm excited to see. I know everybody's been doing lots of practicing. This is going to be a fun one.
Do you think that a sit bucket is required for VR though? Because I mean, I can imagine behind the cockpit on this type of circuit with you know, the way that you have to drive these things, it is going to be a bit intense, don't you think, Tatsy?
Oh yeah, watching this on board right now, actually, while we were in car, just there's that. But imagine it's happening in what feels like a 360-degree field around you, but your body's not moving. I mean, that's gonna throw some stuff off for sure. I could imagine, but I'd like to try it.
And you say your body's not moving. It's crazy what your brain does, because I've gotten to use several different types of VR, including the PlayStation one. And I did a kayaking game, and I went over the waterfall, and my brain made me stand up. I stood up over my seat as if I was going over. It was weird, and I didn't do it intentionally, as Oak puts down the first time. But the way your brain reacts definitely gives you those feelings, even though you're not actually moving.
Yeah, and I can only imagine what it feels like when you get the big air as well, because something I forgot to mention, yeah, there is a couple of moments on this layout that you do actually get some nice big jumps. You know, it looks okay, you know, when you're in your kind of like your normal cockpit or your normal setup, but then in VR, is it a case of don't look down, or it's pretty scary for me? But yeah, a lot of the drivers are coming across the line now. It's going to be interesting to see how the very top drivers get on here, as opposed to the drivers that are really trying to fight their way to grab the best position possible to you know, cement their position for the Division A finals. At the moment, we've got Bobagido. It looks like nothing is phasing him, because he is on pole position ahead of Oak and Filmora, with the Crawler in P4 and the Kai in P5. So of course, we are only 4 minutes into this 10-minute qualifying session as we see the Crawler. You know, I would have been confused to be like, is that Hawko? Because he was going all types of sideways there, as Hawko normally does, as we see the big air moment from FAF Wade, currently in P9. Now, the situation of a lot of the drivers is that FAF Wade, I think, has already qualified. He has 32 points going into this third round race. His history in Season 6 is a P4 and a P3. So, you know, definitely a lot less pressure for the likes of Bobagido and Wade, but somebody like Oak, who currently is second position in the standings, the timing boards for this qualifying session, he needs a third or better to qualify, or dependent on how many points you really need to grab to make it into the finals, TKs.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Several drivers are safe, but so many are really dependent on a solid finish here to make it to the finals, because this Division A is stacked on both days. So it'll be interesting to see. You know, Bobagido, I mean, he's very safe, but he's up there in P1, so he's going to try to take those P1 points. So maybe a driver who needed to finish first, he's going to really struggle to try to get up there and give Bobagido a run for his money.
Yes, indeed. And the times are actually pretty tight, considering we are talking 1.2 seconds separating Bobagido to Rusty Maggots P1 to P4. Rusty Maggots, just looking at his race record, well, currently he is P13, so it's looking like he may have already qualified, but we did kind of predict that he would need maybe a P8 or better, because we still don't know the exact points needed to qualify. We did predict that, or I predicted, but I could be wrong, 26 points to qualify into the finals. Well, Rusty Maggots going about it the right way, because he is currently fourth position in this qualifying session. And I have to say, some Ken Block moves I can see out on the circuit there, Tattoo.
Yeah, it's looking really good out there. I mean, it seems like the car is incredibly balanced for him, where he's figured out the balance. I think that's part of the challenge of this race. Obviously, with NRL, there's always a twist, whether it's torrential rain or something. I think in this case, it's the evil of giving kids a mid-engined car to rally with, right? The weight isn't not where you expect it to be. But as I jumped on track to try to figure out what the settings that were needed were, and learned that at least in the car that I had chosen, I don't have this car, I have the Ford Focus, I needed ballast to make the minimum weight. And I wonder if that is necessary here, or if that minimum weight was the weight of this car. But if ballast is needed, then that helps you figure out balance, because you can move that ballast around.
Yeah, indeed. Well, the torque distribution as well is something
Also
that's
that.
available for the drivers. Yeah. So TK, so I haven't got much experience on this, but you know, what would be your preferred torque distribution going into this one?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about, because so we saw when the Friday splits did this, they were in the Mustang, so front engine, rear or all-wheel drive, but front engine, so different weight distribution. This being a mid-engine, there's going to be more weight in the back, so I wonder if you want a little more up front to kind of help pull the car into the turns. But watching these drivers really smoothly chuck it around, they clearly have got it figured out. But I would dabble with a few different things. I'm typically one not to do a drastic, like all the way one way or all the way to the other, maybe somewhere in the middle, but it also will depend on your driving style, whether you're on controller or you're on a wheel, because that'll make a difference on how the car handles as well.
Yeah, that's a good, interesting point there. Something I've just noticed as well, we've only got 9 drivers in qualifying. Should have had 14 drivers. Don't know if there's any drivers on holiday or such like, but quite disappointing to see only 9 drivers in. Now, of course, depending on the point spread, we don't know how many drivers are going to be qualifying from each day. In an ideal world, you would be thinking maybe 7 on Friday, 7 on Saturday, but it doesn't always work out that way. But certainly only having 9 drivers on track would suggest that it makes it a little bit easier for the drivers that are competing for Saturday to qualify for the finals, Tatu.
Yeah, maybe, right? It's a top 14 across both days, so I don't know what the points are looking like for Friday Division A in comparison to ours to Saturday. But yeah, in theory, it means more chances.
Well, I guess
Guaranteed points for everybody today.
Yes.
Pretty much, yes. Now, we don't have anyone who's got a quali ban, do we? But even then, they would be on track. Okay, not in this race, right?
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm just sort of going through my list at the moment just to see who we've got, who we haven't got. And one that I did notice was there is no left to pass. There is no Josh Moment.
Josh Moment is at a NASCAR event, I believe. He's enjoying some real life racing this weekend.
Fair play. I have been told that it's Banana and J-Dog are the other 2 drivers as well. So just looking at it, a lot of them drivers did need substantial race points to qualify. So maybe deciding that, you know, we're going to give up the fight here. So a shame not to have them, unfortunately, but we are on the last lap of qualifying. It looks like we've got a few drivers to finish their hot laps. Hopefully they can go a little bit quicker, but currently fastest man on the circuit is Bobagido with that 1 minute 14.493. We look on board with Felmora. He's one of them drivers that really does need to pull all the stops if he is to qualify. He needs the race win. He grabs 7th position as he comes across the checkered line, so he will hope that he can improve as the race goes on. But it looks like Bobagido is going to start on the pole position ahead of Oak, who again another one of them drivers that needs good points on the table, at least 3rd position. Definitely going about it the right way there, I think, Tati.
Yeah, man, it's so hard with these rally cars to gauge what's fast and what isn't, right? I think for a lot of these drivers, they're finding out for the first time today what is a fast lap. We'll see during the race, though. I think this is such a unique situation where PD has created these circuits that give us kind of the feel of a stage, but obviously it's a circuit, right? Typically, rally isn't like this. You're not side to side and door banging outside of rallycross, which is usually on a different kind of track, I think.
Something's going on with Bo Bajito. Oh, there he goes. He gets it into gear.
Yeah,
It's almost like he couldn't, maybe had a disconnect with his controller / wheel. But it's like in the F1 drivers trying to find reverse right there.
Well, yeah, certainly something that I've been looking at my notes just to see, which driver needs what. So Oak definitely needs a third or better. PhD Lyric, who's currently P4, he needs a second or better. So currently P4 at the moment, so he's got a decent chance, right? P4, it's a good place to start from. And there's quite a number of drivers behind, like Cyrus Nicky, that are kind of on the cusp of qualifying. But certainly because quite a few drivers are missing, it's looking quite likely that they are going to secure their passage into the finals. But let's get the classified quali results from Saturday round 3, Division A. So FAF Bobajido is confirmed to start on pole position with a 1 minute 14.493, just under 300th of a second quicker than Oak, who will be starting alongside him on row 1 from P2. Then in P3 and starting on row 2 is the Crawler with his 1 minute 14.8. Then it's PHG Lyric starting alongside him in P4 from row 2. Row 3 will be in P5 will be VIP Cyrus Nicky GT, and starting alongside him is S7R's Rusty Maggots. And on row 4, it's going to be Felmora starting from P7, and starting alongside him is FAF Wade from P8. And then on the final row, it is going to be the Kai starting on his own from 9th position. So that is qualifying done. And what are your thoughts from that qualifying session, TKs?
Well, overall, really good. Tight up front. Curious to see. This is going to be a straight sprint, and there are walls all the way around this. While there's no damage, clipping a wall can easily spin you around. So it should be interesting to see how these drivers handle each other on the track, because chaos can ensue very quickly.
Yes, indeed. And obviously, we're not used to seeing the Kai at the back of the grid from P9. So perhaps rally isn't his forte, but you can't count him out, though, surely, Tati?
No, absolutely not. You can't count anybody out really with rally. Like TK said, there's no damage, but there are walls. There are ways that'll catch you out. That final jump going onto the back straight is incredibly sketchy. And if you hit it at the wrong angle, you're going into the wall on the other side. So everyone is still in this race here, even the Kai.
Yes, and it's quite a long race as well. I mean, yes, the laps are quite short, but we are talking 24 laps here at the Sardinia Windmills Rally Circuit. So anything can happen in them 24 laps. And of course, with the rally circuit being quite wide, it is possible we could at least get 2 wide going through, although a scary proposition, of course, just drifting out wide and stuff. It certainly challenges the drivers in terms of bringing a whole different dynamic to these races. So I mean, TK, is there? Do you think that any surprises could happen from this race?
I think so. I think we'll see 3 wide in some of these. Some of these, even 4. Yeah, there's
spots here. Yeah,
there's that big left-hander. That, I mean, you just chuck it in. I do love that with rally, there are multiple lines to take. And with rally, because you're sliding around so much, you have to set up your overtake. It's not just as simple as I'm going to brake later than you. It's you got to be 3-4 turns ahead, getting your car set up. We'll see guys flick it right but a left-hander's coming up. They're going to flick it back. We'll see. Hopefully there's no malicious contact, but I do expect some bumping and grinding going on. You know, I don't see nothing wrong. I don't see nothing wrong. Tati got it. And I'm excited. This is fun. I think rally racing is fun, and these are top tier drivers, and it's good to see. So let's get racing.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, rubbing is racing, as the term suggests. So we could see a fair bit of that going in. We are just awaiting the drivers to get ready for this 24-lap race at the Sardinia Windmills. So, Tati, you were saying possibly 4 wide into these turns?
Yeah, that big left-hander in the first part of the track, for sure. You can see 4 wide. Even the right-hander around the, I guess it's a lake. Honestly, I'm never looking to the right there. It's dangerous. Look where you need to go. But yeah, the big right-hander. This track gets intense. Like I said, it makes for some pretty good battles. Even though there aren't a lot of heavy braking sections, maybe 2 turns total that you actually have to hit the brakes for. I think that's actually going to make for even more side-by-side action, because everyone's going to lift at a different rate. Everyone's going to have a different trajectory through some of these turns. It's not easy to be precise on gravel.
Oh, and you know what? Claude, you had mentioned that jump there right before you go across the start-finish line. I don't know about y'all, but I've gotten a bump right there and ended up in the pits. It is very easy because the pit lane entry is right where you land to the left. So I'm curious to see if we see anybody unintentionally get put into the pit lane.
Yeah. Fun fact, that's also what you do to a troll if you guys are in an open lobby around here. You just bump them into the pits right there.
Well, I didn't want to say anything there, but but also as well, TK, because you're part of this Joker series that I got wind of. So that they technically could do a Joker lap, so to speak.
Doing a Joker lap using the pit lane, yeah, that it has been something we've talked about because there's plenty of tracks that allow you to do a Joker lap. Very cool. Shout out Salamander. He puts on the Joker series. And but yes, we had talked about when setting it up that you can use a pit as the Joker.
Okay. Interesting. Well, when yeah, I was just about to say, tell us about this Joker series, TK.
Well, I will, but we're about to get started here. So you guys stick around for another time. I do need to talk to the Dumb Guys Do Racing podcast. Going to try to get back on with them, and I can talk about it a little more.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold that thought then. So, drivers are just lined up now as we start this crucial round robin in Division A. Saturday, round 3, as we got the 5 red lights. Bobagito is going to lead us away from the front. Oh, he doesn't get on the power though, and he loses all kinds of positions down to nearly the back of the grid. It looks like Wade actually didn't get the best of starts either. Sakai moving up 2 positions, but Bobagito from the front of the grid to the back of the grid. So that means Oak is now our new leader from the race. Lyric in P2. There is a gaggle of cars going sideways, as Tati mentioned, about 4 going wide into the turns. The crawler in P3. Cyrus Nicky up the inside to move up into P4. Rusty Maggots down into P5. Well, in fact, Kai was momentarily in P5, but Rusty Maggots just holds him off for the time being. But Kai up 3 positions to P6. Wade P7. Filmora P8. Looks like he's made a mistake and finds himself in P8. But Bobagito at the back of the grid on lap 1, TKs.
Yeah, and I wonder if this is something carrying over from what we saw there in qualifying, having some technical issues, but he and Wade both did not get the best start. Not exactly sure what happened there, but this is playing out great for Oak and Lyric, who are needing to finish up in the top spot to continue on into the finals.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I mean, we didn't expect drama on the very first corner, but it has changed hands at the top of the grid. And as you said, TK's Lyric also in the top 3 now. So this is playing into his hands if he is to qualify. Oh, there's a slight bump from Wade on the Kai as he moves up into P6. Kai down into P7. Looked like Wade had a lot more speed and traction through the entrance to the corner. Kai, I don't know if he got shoveled wide or not, and in fact he hit the hail bales on the inside, and there was Wade to take full advantage and move up into 6th position, Tati.
Yeah, man, I've been with Kai since the very beginning of the race. Watched him go from dead last to P5, thanks in part to like Wade's bad start, Bobajita's bad start, and then he hits that hay bale and looks like he's lost a couple of positions. It's really hard to pick your momentum back up and get back with the pack in these rally circuits too, by the way.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, of course, you don't really get slipstream in this type of race, but yeah, you know, we're seeing synchronized drifting from many of the drivers, which is great to see. Cyrus Nicky up into P4. We're coming up to that big air part just before the checkered line there, but both drivers of Cyrus Nicky and Rusty Maggots negotiating them jumps perfectly there, and it looks like Cyrus Nicky starting to close in on PhD Lyric. He'll be looking to steal that 3rd position away from him. Felmora, it looks like he's moved up a position to P6 now. Kai, as we mentioned, P7, Wade in P8. Bobajido, I don't know if Bobajido is still having technical issues, but it looks like he's quite a way back in 9th position, so yeah, not looking good for him, TKs.
Yeah, I saw he had an unfortunate spin. It was kind of weird. I'm not sure if it was related to the technical issue or if he just made a mistake, but he had an unfortunate spin there and is a good ways back. He's currently 13 seconds off the lead.
Wow, that is quite a considerable margin. But fair play to Bobajido for staying in this race, you know, just hoping that he gets a bit of luck at some point in this race to try and claw back the deficit to the drivers in front. But yeah, the race is flying by. We're already on lap 424, and Cyrus Nicky getting very, very close to the fencing on the inside and outside. But it just shows you have to maximize the rally width, I think is probably the correct term there, and yeah, the gaps, to be honest, right, we are talking 4.7 seconds separating, or maybe 5 seconds separating the top 5. So very close. Oh my goodness, that's slight bit of door banging between Cyrus Nicky and Rusty. I think Rusty went a little bit hot into the turn, but luckily no damage in this race, of course. So the drivers can certainly get their elbows out there, I think, Tati.
Yeah, they can. I mean, obviously you don't want to hit somebody into a wall or anything like that. These cars are on the edge of traction and speed often in those corners, but it's going to happen. It's because, again, you can't be super precise. And once you're sliding, you're sliding. You know, you don't stop until the friction allows you to.
Yes, that is very, very true. Well, we certainly got a good battle going on for the bottom 3 drivers, because Kai is leading the bottom 3, but Wade is only 1.5 seconds down. We mentioned that Bobajido was 12 seconds adrift. The gap has dwindled down to about a second now. So is it a case that they waited up and thought, you know what, let's make things interesting for this race, TKs?
Yeah, you know, I mean, if we did our maths correctly, all he needs is P9 for pole position, unless somebody does something crazy here, because he has so many points from doing so well throughout the season. So really, even if he finishes last, he's not hurting himself at all. But you know how talented he is, so I imagine him to come fighting back through and have a good time.
Yeah, it's an interesting point that you make, because, of course, you know, there's a few drivers in this Saturday division that have already qualified for the finals, but their job is not done. You know, there's no qualifying going into the grand finale in 3 weeks' time, so they're fighting for track position. for the finals race. And you know, starting from like P10 to like say maybe P4 or something makes a massive difference. But we have definitely got a bit of a battle going on between Cyrus Nicky, Rusty Maggots and Afel Mora fighting for that 4th position, and actually PSG Lyric not too far in front in 3rd position. So positions definitely up for grabs here, Tati.
Oh, they're all grabs. I mean, you've already seen with Bovagito, it's easy to catch up quickly if you've got the skill to catch up quickly. And there's so many things that can happen to the drivers ahead of you that, you know, no one's really out of this thing. It is a long race. 24 laps around here will not go by quickly. We're only a quarter of the way through, 6 laps in.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I mean, we're talking probably about 2 seconds separating 4 drivers right now. So the last step on the podium definitely up for grabs, but Lyric doing a great job in holding that 3rd position at the moment. Then there is a bit of a gap to the crawler, 4.2 seconds, but you can see the gaggle of cars just behind, very close. So Lyric can't afford any mistakes. Oh, and Cyrus Nicky drawed up alongside him. It looked like Lyric went a little bit too sideways and lost that momentum and the speed going into the corner. But yeah, Cyrus Nicky got very close to the side of him, but the gap has widened up again to about 1.3 seconds. So very difficult to call exactly the situation going on at the moment. But I was about to say that the crawler was about 4.5 seconds up the road in P2, and it looks like Oak is in the lead as well. Absolutely flying, TKs.
Yeah, Oak is putting on a clinic right now. He is pushing that gap. Last lap he was at 3 seconds. Now he's at 4 seconds. Currently with the fastest lap and just went purple again. So clearly Oak put in the practice representing MMR and doing a great job.
Yeah, certainly going about it the right way. It was quite a tall order for Oak going into this race. He needed a 3rd or better, but currently leading the race. So he, you know, not only will he, if he stays in this position, will qualify, but actually may qualify a little bit higher up the grid to put him in a better grid slot for the final race. But currently he's got 13 points at the moment. He would be in the drop zone in 18th position, but you know, he'll be gaining well, depending if he can get the fastest lap, which he's got at the moment, he'll be gaining about 26 points from this race, which will put him on 34. So will definitely propel him up the driver standings combined for Division A. So doing a really great job here. Is it it's 39, is it? It's okay, apparently I can't do maths, so it's 39 points he'll get in total there. So
neither can TK nor I, because we didn't correct you. We were like, yup, that's right.
That's right. Look at Oak's, look at Oak's commitment. I mean, I haven't seen him hardly push the brake pedal. It is all throttle and just chucking that car. And I mean, this is really impressive. Yeah, I usually brake there. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah, in that corner.
And I haven't seen him touch the brakes. And he is just, I mean, full commitment, getting, I mean, centimeters from the barriers. And it is great to see.
Well, I'm just, oh, sorry, go on, Tati.
No, I just was gonna say that's the beauty of rally racing. It's so awesome because like you still keep the same principles of like taking the right racing line, right? But you know the car is going to slide, and so understanding that relationship and letting it slide and using that slide while still, you know, keeping it straight as often as possible. It's literally art. It really is. And Oak's putting on a show.
Indeed. And we just got a $5 donation from Clever Cloves. Flawed must say squeaky bum time during the broadcast. Good luck, drivers. And P.S. Happy birthday to me. Thank you so much.
I guess I must honor this then. So yeah, well, we'll definitely say between P3, 4, 5, and 6, it is squeaky bum time. So they're literally as close as can be right now. We are talking maybe a second separating the three drivers of Lyric Cyrus and Rusty Maggots. As I said, synchronized drifting around the corner. It's great to see. It's definitely an art that we're seeing right in front of our very eyes. There's Cyrus Nicky went a little bit sideways, perhaps not the optimal line taking that jump. So Rusty Maggots has closed that gap slightly to Cyrus Nicky, but they're still I was going to say line astern, but they're not really line astern, are they? Let's be honest. But yeah, very, very close between them three. But I have heard, TKs, that there is a battle going on at the back of the grid.
Yeah, I believe so. The FAF boys are right on each other, Wade and Bobagito. So Bobagito has caught up, but they have a pretty good gap between themselves and the Kai. So maybe they can not battle too hard with each other and work their way up the order there.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite the amazing recovery from Bobagito. 0.3 of a second down on FAF Wade. We did mention that these two drivers are comfortably qualifying for the finals, but they obviously do want to grab more points to start higher up the grid for the finals. So, you know, there's still a big importance to try and make up as many positions as possible, and certainly going about it the right way. They are within touch of the Kai, although Bobagito did just graze the fencing on the left hand side there as just before he got onto the jump there, so that's not going to help his cause there. But yeah, certainly the big battles going on is between P3, 4 and 5, but it does look like Cyrus Nicky has lost touch to PHG Lyric somewhat, and under increasing pressure from Rusty Maggots, Tattoo.
Yeah, I've been watching, and certainly there were a couple of corners there where Cyrus wasn't able to carry momentum, and lucky for him, Rusty kind of followed him through. But I think they are starting to catch right back up to the crawler. Man, it's hard to make a pass to. I think Rusty has wanted to a couple of times, but once that Acura gets sideways, it's pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, there's a fine balance between kind of getting the car sideways, but not too far sideways, because you know, there's a danger of just kind of, it's almost like doing a donut on the spot, isn't it? So yeah, it does look like Cyrus Nicky perhaps not getting maybe the best of laps on that last lap, but of course very difficult to pass on. The drivers we know, you know, world-class drivers we've got in this Division A heat, the Saturday that is, but you know, their morals, you know, in any type of race is kind of like no contact, isn't it? You want to pass someone skillfully and as like no contact really. So yeah, the drivers are probably finding it a hard time to get around particular drivers, but certainly someone that is having a good time out there is Oak, fastest man on the circuit. I mean, look at that. That is beautiful. Oh, he just grazes the outside wall, and he just went a little bit sideways, and but did brilliantly to recover the car there, TKs.
Yeah, and I mean, he didn't lose time to DeCrawler with that. He's still pulling the gap on DeCrawler. We're at about 6 seconds now, so he is doing a great job. Very consistent lap times, and I hope he's having fun, because he's doing a great job.
Okay, and things are starting to develop here. Well, I mean, you know, look at how close it is now. Phil Mora has caught to the back of Rusty Maggots, who himself is trying to catch Cyrus Nicky. He tries one up the inside, but Rusty Maggots does close the door on him. But certainly Phil Mora is looking a little bit more confident right now. But yeah, he's just not able to quite get the move done. But all this squabbling, all it's going to do is allow Cyrus Nicky to pull away in 4th position. But we have been told that Bobachido has moved up into 7th position ahead of the Kai, and Wade actually is down in 9th position here, Tati.
Yes, Babachito finally got out from behind Wade rather, and was able to immediately attack the Kai. I'm not sure if something happened to the Kai, because by the time I got there, Babachito was already on his bumper and made very short work of him for the pass. Nothing dramatic, just got it done.
Yeah. Absolute masterclass there from Babachito, who is a force to be reckoned with, let's just say. You know, of course, back-to-back victories for him in the first 2 rounds, and yeah, a little bit unfortunate with his technical problems, but you know, really not letting that get him down and just getting on with business. And you know, of course, was so far behind in 9th position, but has clawed his way back to 7th position. Is starting to well, I say he's starting to catch up to Fillmore. The gap is 5 seconds, but as we've seen in previous times, you know, that can be closed in an instant. And yeah, we'll see if Babachito is able to do that in the last 10 laps of this race. But it does look like the bottom 3 drivers are working in tandem. They're in formation and hoping that they can catch up as the Kai goes wide down, and FAF way up the inside to move up into P8. The Kai with a big moment there has cost him dearly, TKs.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate. It just goes way wide. I'm not sure exactly if the car got unsettled, maybe with a bump, but unfortunately just got way offline, and that has allowed Wade to pull through. The Kai was running very consistently, so hopefully he can get things back together and push on forward as we ride on board with Felmora, looking at Rusty Maggots, Cyrus Nicky, and Lyric just ahead.
Okay. Well, Felmora is one of them drivers that does need the win if he's got any chance of surviving and pushing on through to the final. Currently, his standings is that he's in 25th position. Of course, we know it's the top 14 drivers that will progress to the finals. He's got 4 points right now. If he was to take 6th position, I do believe that is 8 points for him, so it won't be enough. But he still has to keep pushing on through, try to make up some positions. I mean, look, it's looking unlikely, but you know, a good sport from Femora that he is still moving on, having fun out there as well, probably more importantly. And we'll see if he can claim the spots of Cyrus Nicky and Rusty Maggots, who are just in front of him in P4 and 5. Tati.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't understand the question. If there was a question there, I was just okay. I was like,
it wasn't really a question,
but I'm not hearing what the question is. I'm enamored by just literally just watching Wade and the Kai's some beautiful shots back there. The Kai got into last place. I don't know what the rest of this race looks like for him, but I think he's still got some time to get up there. As far as Lyric and everybody up front, I mean, they seem to have this thing mastered. They can't pass each other. Clearly, I don't think we've seen a positional change up here for at least 5 or 6 laps.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, it's very, very tight, and like I say, like they can go 2, 3, 4 wide, but trying to sort of like negotiate that, be clean, and get the pass done, very, very difficult. And it just seems like right at the moment they're kind of like relying on each other to make a mistake, but all slip goes very, very sideways through the entrance and the exit of the corner, and Cyrus Nicky got very, very close to PhD Lyric, and maybe Lyric feeling that pressure now, T-Case?
Yeah, I think he is. He did get a really great exit there out of the final turn, able to pull a gap. I think it's funny, you know, this is 2 very different races, yet it's the same thing. Like this track is so wide, it should be easy to pass, whereas Nord is so narrow. But because of the way these rally cars are, even with all this track space, it's very hard to overtake. So we're seeing two very different races, but similar outcomes here, as drivers really just have to rely on the other to make a mistake for them to make a pass.
Yeah,
Vegeto's on the way, by the way. He's 2.6 seconds behind Felmora, and it's coming down.
well, I'm glad you've been keeping an eye on that one, because yeah, the gap was what was it, 4 or 5 seconds last time we looked, but as you said there, Tati, the gap has come down to about 2.8 seconds. So he is definitely not out of the running to maybe even fight for that podium spot, because it is so close between Felmora and Lyric. We are talking maybe about a couple of seconds there. So you can see now in his view right in front of him, he can see the 4 cars in front. So I think his eyes will be lighting up. I heard a gasp there. What's happened there, Tati?
Nothing, just very close from Cyrus in that last jump going towards the pits, as we talked about earlier. He was on the edge, teetering. Oh, wow. I think we have a move on. No, not quite. Can't get it. I think the issue is, man, every time you come up to the car in front of you, they're back on the gas. They're pulling, you know? And it's just so hard to get any sort of overspeed on anyone and keep it.
Yeah, well, I mean, looked like Felmora got a good run there, but he tried to challenge Rusty Maggots, but he got the nose in front as he went in to his drift around the corner. So Felmora, yeah, unfortunately not able to take that position away from him. But I was thinking, with all this squabbling and Bobagito just with the task in hand, may well be closing in, although actually the gap has widened slightly to about 3.2 seconds. But he's still definitely in the hunt, but I saw side by side with Rusty Maggots and Cyrus Nicky. It looks like Rusty Maggots has pulled out of it. It looks like Cyrus Nicky also got close to Lyric, but Rusty Maggots down the inside with the overspeed, moves up into P4. Cyrus Nicky down into P5. He's going to come fighting back, I think, but looks like Rusty Maggots took full advantage from the mistake from Cyrus Nicky, and Felmora not too far behind as well, Tati.
Yeah, all of that just happened right as you were saying, oh, well, they can't each other. Well, like you said, somebody makes a mistake and it all changes. Meanwhile, Bobagito gets that much closer. It's 1.1 seconds now between Boba and Felmora, or well, 1.3. I think he's a little bit slow there, but more of that argy-bargy, and we will have a 5-way battle for this position.
Yes, we are getting into, and this is one for you as well, Clever Close, but we are getting into that squeaky bum time now. So 5 laps remaining in this race, and certainly things are getting closer and closer. It's just dependent on now who has got the nerves of steel and who is going to push on through and try to grab them positions. Well, apparently I have heard that something has happened to Wade in 9th position, so I don't think Wade will be challenging at all, but can you see what's happened to Wade? Oh no, before we do though, Rusty Maggots goes a little bit wide and he clips the barrier. Cyrus Nicky should be closing in, but the gap still about 0.6 of a second, and Felmora is was side by side with Bobagito. Bobagito shown the outside line, so won't be able to make the move stick, but Felmora under increasing pressure from Bobagito now, as he knows he's got the championship leader firmly in his sights, TKs.
Yeah, well, and he just makes another mistake, allowing Bobagito to get through. You saw his front bumper clip the barrier there, allowing Bobagito to get through. While things are getting closer and closer back here, the only thing getting closer for Oak up front is the end of this race, because he now has pulled a 12-second gap and is just running away with it. But we have all the action here, the battle for P3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all together now, and all it takes is one error and the positions will change.
Yes, indeed. I mean, I've never seen that before. Literally, cars within like a couple of tenths of each other as they go over the jumps and through the turns as well. Rusty Maggots goes slightly deep, but he is going to hold on to that P4. Cyrus Nicky closing in to him. Oh, he looks for the old switcheroo.
Wow.
The inside. What a move from Cyrus Sneaky to move into P4, Tati.
That was beautiful. That was really gorgeously done to absolutely set himself up for that. You have to set up so early to make any passes around here. This is getting really good. It's getting dark too. And Rusty Magnets goes for almost the same move, but unfortunately actually taps Cyrus into the wall. He may need to redress him for that position there. I'm not sure. The stewards will probably have a look. Guys, it's getting dark. All of this will change, I think, in the next 3 laps. What's going to happen?
This is where the practice is going to pay off, because now it's getting harder to see. You can only see what your headlights are showing you, and this is where all that muscle memory comes into play.
Yeah, well, just out of interest, Rusty Maggots can now confirm has moved up into 3rd position. Lyric looks like he's made a mistake somewhere because he is down in P4. This could be costly for Lyric's championship. Rusty Maggots taking full advantage. He's going to try and peel away, but we've got 3 laps remaining. We'll see if Rusty Maggots can hold on to that 3rd position, but that is going to hurt Lyric for sure, Tati.
Yes, it is. And Bobagito is here. Bobagito is all the way in 5th place. He's not just at the tail end of this now. He's running. And K Naranjo's best lap is like a 14.4, which is insane. The only other driver who's hit the 14th is Oak with a 14.5. He is running right now.
Yes, he is indeed. And yes, it's looking like a good outing for Oak, who really needed well, the best result possible, at least a podium. So it's looking like he is going to qualify through, but as the drivers behind are battling away, Cyrus Sneaky has lost out to Bobagito now, with Bobagito up into P5, Cyrus Sneaky down into 6th position. Filmora still lurking in the background in 7th position. Bobagito hits the fence though, and Cyrus Sneaky is going to draw alongside him as we go through the jumps right now, and Cyrus Sneaky back up into P5 case.
That was insane and very, very clean getting that done. It got really narrow there at the start-finish line, and good on Cyrus Sneaky to take advantage and carry that momentum coming off the jump. That was very nice, and now he can see just ahead the next 2 drivers. We're running out of time, but hopefully he can put it together and maybe challenge back for that podium.
Yeah, indeed, and it's changing on a lap-to-lap basis, and it seems like as the night has fallen, it's really changed it's definitely drawn out a lot more mistakes between the drivers, but PSG Lyric desperately trying to catch up Rusty Maggots as he goes a little bit wide. He's going to go for the old switcheroo, and it's going to move back up into P3, but as we go into the next turn, looks like Lyric has completed the move and back into 3rd place, but door to door between Rusty Maggots and Lyric as they both touched, but Lyric still holding off Rusty Maggots for the time being. That is going to introduce Simon Sticky in the background, who's not too far behind in P5. As PSG Lyric goes onto the jump across the line to start the last lap of the race. It's squeaky bump time now, Tati.
Deep into squeaky bump time. There's no turning back. Last lap of the race, more and more action happening. Rusty has to try to make a move somewhere here. And there's Cyrus. Oh, there you go. That was Lyric.
Oh, no.
Lyric out wide right there. Oh, and it's unfortunate for him. He's going to lose out 2 positions, both Cyrus and to Rusty Maggots. Bobagito not able to get anything from him just yet out of that, but he's right there too.
Yeah, as we look on board with the replay, we see that Rusty Maggots climbs into the side of PhD Lyric, which puts him into the wall. So he moves up into P3, but I do suspect there could be a few stewards inquiries after that one. But Oak comes across the line to win round 3 of Division A Saturday. Congratulations to Oak, with the crawler coming across the line with a brilliant 2nd position for him. So congratulations to the crawler. And yeah, certainly I think there could be a few arguments after the race, TKs, as it looks like Rusty Maggots is going to come across the line to finish in third position, with Cyrus Nicky in fourth position, Bobagido in fifth position, and PSG Lyric in sixth place, who is going to be fuming. Felmora P7, the Kai in P8, and FAF Wade in ninth position. Yeah, TK, it's a bit of a controversial ending to this race. What are your thoughts to what we've just seen?
Indeed. And you know, it didn't look like anything malicious, but there was definitely hard contact, good hard racing. I mean, this is rally. It's to be expected. I don't think you can get through it clean, but man, shout out to Oak. He only had a couple laps that weren't in the 114s. I mean, pure consistency. Wow. That was incredible.
Yeah, crazy consistency there. And I'm just going to quickly read out the provisional race results from Saturday, round 3 in Division A. Just confirmation that Oak did grab the race victory. No problems for him. He finishes ahead of the crawler by 18 seconds. Absolute phenomenal drive from Oak. Also grabs the fastest lap of the race with that 1 minute 14.4. But a great job from the crawler, who finishes in second position. Then it was S7R Rusty Maggots that finished on the last step of the podium. The top 3 drivers we will get in the interview booth very, very shortly. VIP Cyrus Nicky finishes in a close 4th position, just in front of FAF Bobagido, with a great comeback for him. With PhD Lyric, I'm sure he's not going to be happy. P6 for him. That could be crucial for his championship, but we'll see what happens in the days to come. Felmora finishes in 7th position ahead of the Kai, who did manage to get up into 8th position. And then it was Wade who came across the line in 9th position. But yeah, Tati, very close, very dramatic last lap we had in that race. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, those guys, that whole gaggle there from 3rd to 5th and then eventually 6th, they stayed together the whole race. At no point were they ever separated. So we had to know towards the end that it was going to start getting a little bit desperate. It's unfortunate that you know, we had a big change of position that happened with a little bit of an accident. We'll see what happens with the full results when it's all done. But very exciting race. Congratulations to all the drivers.
Yeah, certainly put on some great entertainment for us. And yeah, I guess we are going to get the thoughts of the top 3 drivers now, because they're all in the interview room now. So we're going to start off with, I think, our 3rd place finisher, Rusty Maggots. And really great to see him in the interview booth for the very first time. Rusty Maggots, 3rd position for you. How are you feeling after that one?
Can you guys hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I guess I feel good about it. Honestly, I haven't done like really any dirt racing on Gran Turismo, and the little bit I have, I just couldn't do it on wheels, so I always had to use controller. This is actually the first race I've ever done in the dirt on a wheel. The whole week of practice, I was basically a 2 to 2 seconds per lap off pace from everybody else. And so my goal this race was just to not get embarrassed and not finish last. I found a little bit of speed, like kind of right before quali started, and was actually able to be pretty confident going into it. Definitely one of the funnest races I've ever had, being so close to those guys the whole time, side by side, back and forth, a little bit of bumping and banging. The accident at the end there with the Lyric, I don't know, that was kind of a weird one. Like, it looked like on my end I had him cleared, and even if there was going to be contact, it'd be minor. But then it looks like he just went into the wall pretty hard after it. I'm gonna have to check the replay on that one, because it was kind of like, from my perspective, I guess, surprising that the contact resulted in such a major incident. It seems so minor when I was going for the pass, but yeah, I'll just have to take a look at it.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly was a very intense ending, and you know, live in the moment, obviously it's hard to kind of negotiate these maneuvers, and certainly something I didn't expect as well was how quickly the night drew in as well. How much did that affect your peripheral vision, especially in the last couple of laps?
Yeah, it's not a huge factor, especially like when you're following other people. I think following other people is like kind of worse. Like having, I don't know, it's hard to like in the dirt, you don't use like traditional braking points, I feel like, compared to like road cars, where if you're behind somebody, you understand where you are on the track, you're braking. Sometimes you're just trying to look for the apex of the corner earlier in the dirt, at least I do. And so when there's a car in front of me, I can't see that, and I'm just kind of guessing. As far as the night goes, I can still see everything I need to. There's a little bit of peripheral stuff, obviously, that can make it a little bit harder, but if anything, it just makes it harder to race around people, because sometimes you get sideways with a person, and if they get out of where your headlights are, they're over there, but you can't exactly see where they are.
Yeah.
I don't know if that actually impacted the incident at the end there. Because like I think when there was contact, like Lyric, he wasn't even on my screen. He was off to the side, and I was like for me, it looked like I was clear ahead. So the dark may have influenced that a bit.
Yeah, it may have done. I mean, it's easy for us in the commentary booth to comment on things. We're not behind the wheel, so it looks a little bit unfortunate, but nevertheless, Rusty, it was a great performance from you, and really deserved that third place. So congratulations to you. I'm going to pass you over to your teammate Tassie. You must be happy with Rusty's performance today.
I am, of course. Love to see S7R on the podium wherever we go. Congratulations, Rusty, on that one. You did say actually that you weren't very comfortable with this race, didn't know. The only goal was to not embarrass yourself, and then that you found some speed towards the end. But you obviously had consistency, because it's one thing to find speed, it's another to display it over and over again, lap after lap. How much practice have you had over the last week for this race?
Man, it's hard to say. I don't think I did a single lap of practice until Thursday, because I was like, oh, it's just a dirt race. There's no strategy. I don't got to figure out how long tires last. I just got to get fast. So I didn't think I'd have to practice much. And then I see drivers in the lobby that normally I beat, and they're like 2 seconds, 3 seconds a lap faster than me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get going on this. And I would say a few hours a day the past few days, maybe a little more. I don't know how many hours in total. Between like 7 to 14 hours, somewhere in there. I wasn't keeping track, but really, like, it was the speed that I had to find, and the consistency as well. Like, not only did I not have the speed, but I did not have the consistency either. Really, until I figured out, like, the very end, I realized, like, it's really all about braking early in a few corners. There's only like 2 turns where you have to brake a lot, and I was always trying to like brake late, slide the car sideways, and hit the throttle to pull out of the corner. But it's just not the fastest way to do it. You get sent in too deep and messes up your lines a little bit. You're better off braking earlier in a straight line more so. And then once you kind of get the car slowed down, pitch it in and then hit the throttle. Once I figured that out, I was able to be a lot more consistent, and the pace kind of built up from there.
Nice. Well, congratulations. Hopefully you get to maintain the podium position. I think I know what you mean about the hit feeling like it would have been super soft if it happened at all there. We'll see if maybe there was some net code, but either way, I think we're going to see you next at the next race, the next round, the final.
Yeah. And yeah, sorry to Lyric. Todd, I don't drive like that normally. I don't think in all my years of sim racing, I don't know if I've ever actually had a ticket put in against me. I usually try to keep things pretty clean. That was probably the worst wreck I've been involved in at least a couple of years. And yeah, like I said, it was weird. It seemed minor on my end, but all of a sudden I saw him into the wall. I was like, oh man, that might have been worse than I thought. But I'll have to go check the replay on it.
All right.
Well, sorry.
No, that's it. Go ahead.
And finally, TK. So any questions to Rusty Maggots?
Yeah, well, before I get started, it seemed like people really enjoyed that race because we have some donations I want to go over real quick. Our very own GT Slow-Mo with a $10. Holy cow, talk about some great racing. Great job as always, Flawed, Tati, and T-Case. Thank you so much, Slow-Mo. Then we got the Crawler with another $4.99. Well done, all racers. A sticker from Cyrus Nicky for Canadian $2.79, and then a super chat for Canadian $6.99 from Cyrus Nicky. Epic stuff. So yes, I agree with all of them. That was great and well done. Congratulations to you, sir. I guess the only question, did anything surprise you about the actual race compared to your practicing?
Oh, is this still for me? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess I didn't expect it to be so close the whole time. It seemed like when I was like practicing, I was having a hard time maintaining consistent laps. And then I'd spectate drivers that are running faster laps than me, thinking, oh man, these guys are going to wipe the floor with me. But then I started looking at their times. I realized their laps are also really inconsistent. So I think we were all running pretty inconsistent laps compared to when we're on pavement. So I kind of thought it would be more like spread out, where all of a sudden a driver makes a mistake that allows someone to catch up or pass them, and then they kind of spread out again. But no, instead I was in a pack of like 4 drivers with a guy right behind me and a guy right behind me the entire race, which I didn't expect it, but it was fun as hell.
It looked like a good time, and you did an excellent job. So congratulations, man, and we'll be seeing you in the finals.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, just confirmation. I think you've easily qualified for the finals, so congratulations. And I think you can breathe a sigh of relief, I think, after that race. And yeah, definitely good luck to you in the finals. And any combinations you're looking for the finals?
Something crazy. That's why I joined this league. I'll say anything but a Group 3 car.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I like races that reward tire and fuel saving. So I'm hoping for a bit of a longer race with some open strategy with a lot of tire and fuel consumption that we got to look out for. That's what I'm hoping for.
I guess we'll wait and see. Obviously, at the end of the broadcast, we'll get information on the combo. So knowing McNulty, it will be something very crazy. So you may get your wish. But yeah, congratulations on a great performance, and look forward to seeing how you get on in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Rusty. Okay, and on to our second place finisher, and good to see him back in the interview booth. It was the Crawler with a very, very good display, grabbing second position. How are you feeling after that one?
Hey, what's up, Flawed? It's good to be back over here. I kind of stumbled a little bit on that last race, making it through the front door, but hey, we made it through the front door now. Let's go, baby. Hey, but before I answer your question, I'd like to just do a little shout out. I'd like to give a shout out, to Fear No Gear, Streamer Dog, Queen, and the Fear Brigade coming in and always showing support, giving me some tips here and there. And, my teammate, Cyrus Nicky, me and him were grinding this week. We lost 2 of our teammates. So it's just pretty much me and him putting in the work on trying to find out, strategy on like proper power distribution and brake balance and the whole 9. And most importantly, huge shout out to Mama Crawler and getting the whole family to come in and tune in and watch the race. Thank you, Mom. Love you.
Hey, Mama Crawler.
Hey, but man, that race, honestly, I know some people love rally. I'm not a fan of rallying. This was the first time I actually did a race against real people other than AI and rallying. I ran a manual transmission. And And in the beginning, I was, with Naranjo, but I didn't want to get too close to him where I tap him, and then I lost a little momentum there, and then I started second guessing myself and how I was shifting the car on that one left-hander, and I just lost momentum, and it took me a couple laps to find my rhythm again. And then once I found my rhythm again, I, made a small error and then lost time, and Naranjo was just gone, man. I need his ghost to learn this track. My God, that guy was gone. But yeah, I'm glad them valve stems stayed strong and didn't lose no tire pressure on this race. Let's go.
Yeah, and certainly did a great job today. I was going to ask you one question. I'm not someone that's used to rally either. So going into this race, like, how differently did you have to drive to be consistent in these rally cars compared to what you would do in like a track day car or a race car?
So, being on the tarmac, I feel like, when I really want to send it, I just send it, with the throttle. But when you're on the dirt track, you try to send it by giving it full throttle, you're gonna be, skidding out on the dirt more, and you're gonna lose momentum and stuff. So there's a lot of like throttle modulation. And for me, with using manual gears, like I had to manipulate my gearing a little bit to gain traction. I don't know if I was optimal with it because I don't really do rally all that much, but I just feel on the road when you want to send it, you feel confident in sending it and that it's going to stick for the most part. Whereas if you try to send it on the dirt, you could push yourself wide, and next thing you know, you're in the trees or in a barrier or in another person's side panel and stuff like that. So I feel like there's a lot more throttle modulation as opposed to being on the road.
Good answer there. Yeah. Well, you certainly did a great job there, and for a lot of the race, you was keeping up with Oak, but yeah, Oak did show his masterclass in the end. But nevertheless, it was a great performance and a great second place for you. So congratulations, and I'm going to hand you over to TK's for any questions.
Thank you.
Hey, Crawler, great job, man. I mean, I think you said everything needed to be said. So no questions for me. Just congratulations. Well done, man. Way to go.
I appreciate it.
Lastly, Tati.
Hey, Crawler.
What's up, Tati? How you like them valve stems, girl?
Man, listen, they held on. They kept together for you. I'm glad. I remember I told you round one that I wanted to see you back on the podium. You didn't listen to me round two, but you came back around this round. So I'm good with that. You said you don't like rally, and this is your first time racing against real people, but you put on a clinic. I mean, you didn't catch Oak. Nobody could catch Oak, but nobody caught you either. So what do you say? Are you a rally fan now?
I would say I am still not a rally fan. Oak gapped the heck out of me. That is no good at all. At all. And if Hako was in here, he gapped me too. So I got a lot of work to put in on rally. If all this rallying is going to keep on going on and everything. I hope not, because I feel like there's more skill sets to be utilized on the road. Rallying, people can, switch over and send their car to the shop and switch over to an automatic transmission. And then you don't have to really worry about, manipulating your gears to control the car and stuff where, on the road, that can actually hurt you not being able to manipulate your car the way you want to. But, I'm not downing the rally folks. I definitely have a respect to them because there is a different style of driving to be had to be, at a very competitive pace. I'm proud of my performance. I was only hoping to make like the top 5. And the start of the race had me a little nervy, shaking in my boots and starting to sweat from the rip because, I was like, what the heck, what's going on with Bobagito? Did he stall out or something? I'm like, my guy, come on. But Yeah, man. And speaking of, the racers, like the FAF boys, man, they're great racers, especially, with strategy and stuff. So, being able to test myself, with those guys who are very strong on the road is, what I like to see more so of. And, the Kai, the Kai, in my opinion, for our split is by far the fastest racer out of all of us. It's just unfortunate things happen, nerves kick in and stuff like that. But I'm glad he stuck it through and kept on racing instead of parking it in the pits and stuff like that. I'm sure he's going to bring that pace come the finals.
I think so too. Well, thank you, Crawler. I can't wait to see you at the finals.
Thank you.
Yeah, and just to reiterate as well, obviously, just looking at the tables and stuff, it's looking like you're going to be tied for third position. Of course, we know there's no qualifying in the finals, so it's all down to your league standing in where you qualify on the grid. So whether it's third or fourth,
I thought you're supposed to treat your guests. Hasn't Jorge Senior been doing this league for a little bit? I'm new here. I should get that guest treatment. Come on now.
Put you on Paul.
Well, I mean, I guess that's up to them drivers and obviously Minolti as well. But certainly you're going to be right up there at the top end of the grid. So congratulations on a fine performance today, and yeah, hopefully it's a combo that you can be competitive on for the finals.
Thanks, and thanks to all the sponsors, Naughty, and all the broadcasters from Friday splits and today's splits. Let's go. See you soon.
Let's go, and thank you very much as well. Thank you, the Crawler, and good luck in the next round, or for the final, should I say. Okay, and then on to our winner for today, and saving the best to last, I have to say. Congratulations to you, MMR Oak, on the race victory. How are you feeling after that one?
Oof, I mean, I'm feeling very tired. That race really put a toll in me. I'm not really a big fan of rallies, so keeping it on track really it really made me tired. So yeah, that's how I feel.
I mean, that kind of surprises me because, I mean, you was the class above the rest today. You won the race by 18 seconds, which is quite a sizable margin. So was there a lot of practice that went into today to put on a performance like you did today?
Oh yeah, certainly did. I starting from Monday this week, I put in many hours, maybe 3 to 2 hours a day, practicing for this specific race to make the finals. It was certainly difficult trying to find the improvement, but overall it really helped me out in dominating this race. I got a bit lucky at the beginning with Bobagito and his incident, but overall it was a really good race.
Yeah, maybe so, but you did what you had to do. Once you got into the lead of the race, you never looked back. So a fantastic performance from you, Oak. There's not much more I can say. It was pretty much faultless from you. So congratulations on the race victory. And I'll pass you over to Tati for any questions.
What up, Oak?
Hey, Tati, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I don't know what's going on. What's up with all these people who are doing great at the rally races not liking rally? What do we have to do?
Honestly, it's more of just trying to find that extra tenth in each corner. It's those, once you find the good line, it's just about really putting the power down, limiting those slides. Too much of a slide can lose you a lot of time. So it's just about those little things, and that'll really help you out trying to get those good lap times in.
Well, that was my only question, Oak. Thank you so much. Congratulations on the win, and we'll see you in the finals.
Thank you.
And lastly, T-Case.
Yes, sir. Oak, flawless victory, my friend. Well done. For those of y'all who don't know, Oak and I have done some commentating together over in the PHG World Series, so I've gotten to know him a little bit, and that was super impressive, man. I think the biggest thing that stood out to me was your consistency. Were you expecting to be just throwing down 114s one after another?
You know, honestly, I was really trying my best to keep it out of the walls. I think that's what really helped me getting those 114s pumped in. But you know, it was just about keeping it out of the walls for the most part. It was really a big factor here. You know, like I said, that practice that I did throughout the week really helped me out and really getting the consistency down. But yeah, for me, the big thing was just keeping it out of the walls and just keeping it clean with everyone else.
Well, that was awesome, man. Congratulations. Well done. And we'll see you in the finals.
Thank you, sir. You guys have a good day.
Yeah, thank you, Oak, and huge congratulations to you. I'm sure Moose will be very proud of you.
Oh, yeah. He's been waiting.
Well, yeah, that is the thoughts of our top 3 drivers. And yeah, what a show they put on for us today. I mean, I really wasn't expecting that in the rally stages there, but honestly, you know, NRL never fails to disappoint. And yeah, certainly that was a great way to end the league phase, coming up to the finals for Division A. So that is both races completed today. So we'll go for a short break. However, don't go anywhere, as when we come back, those all-important overall provisional standings for both divisions, as well as the race combos for the grand finale in both divisions too. So we will see you in 2. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back very shortly. Welcome back, everyone, to the final part of this broadcast. Hopefully you're ready for what's to come. But before we get into it, a huge thank you to Dumb Guys Do Racing, Henke's Tavern, Little JCPA, Lithograph Comics, and Mist Chronicles for all their support throughout Season 6 of the NRL. So firstly, let's reveal the provisional overall standings for the drivers in Division B. Who is going to qualify for the finals? TKs, if you can read us through the standings, please, in reverse order.
Division B coming down there at the bottom, we have Old Man Pip with 0 points in P26. Then in 25th, we have Azilla with 1 point. 24th, RTS Bandit with 1 point. 23rd, Fernando B with 1 point. Then we move up to Johnny Boy in 22nd place with 6 points, followed by PHG Strict9 in 21st with 6 points. Angry Fredbird P20 with 7 points. Island Grown 77 in P19 with 11 points. Root in P18 with 13 points. Then we have Racer DM P17 with 13 points. VIP HGT is in P16 with 14 points. And then we have Santa Miguel in P15 with 16 points. Now to our finalists. We have Mach 3 TT SKR in P14 with 21 points. PHG Aero P13 with 22 points. Digital Relay in P12 with 23 points. Hondo in P11 with 25 points. With 26 points, we have Sugar Shuffles in P10, 28 points. Stumpy in P9. NVR Crew Lob 11 in P8 with 29 points. Elias Pangolin in P7 with 32 points. IORT Fishtail, 45 points in P6. With 49 points, we have The Corridor in P5. In P4, we have SRP Mr. Racing, 51 points. And Caper in P3 also with 51 points. Then we have in P2 Sheldologist with 68 points. And starting on pole is S7R's Nuke with 79 points.
Fantastic stuff. Okay, shall we show the overall standings for Division A? Tatty, please reveal them to us in reverse order, please.
Yeah, let's do it. So in 28th, we've got Shaggy Dew with 3 points. 27th is Left to Patchy with 3 points as well. Also with 3 points, BHR J-Dog in 26th. In 25th, we have Bell's 1S in with 4 points rather. In 24th, you're looking at VIP Player with 5 points. In 23rd is Flux Player with 8 points. Banana is in 22nd with 9 points. VIP Almost Podium has 10 points in 21st place. In 20th, you've got Thelmora with 10 points. BHR Josh Monument has 15 points in 19th. Lyric has 17 points in 18th. The Truth Serum sits in 17th with 19 points. Chief Apollo 11 has 19 points for 16th place. And in 15th, you're looking at IORT Azriel with 19 points as well. With our top 14 now, we're looking at Talon with 25 points in 14th place. In 13th, we have Moose 21 with 31 points. The Kai has is in 12th place with 32 points. Twitch Hako is in 11th with 32 points. FAF Wade in 10th with 34 points. Cyber Sneaky GT has 38 points in 9th place. Rusty Maggots is in 8th place with 38 points. K Naranjo, aka Oak, in 7th with 39 points. In 6th, we have Negative Ways with 43 points. In 5th is Alicos with 45 points. The Crawler takes 4th place with 53 points, tied with Jorge Sr., who's got 3rd place with 53 points as well. S7R Wid is in 2nd with 57 points, and Boba Gito is in 1st place with 65 points.
Fantastic. So that rounds up our positioning in Division A and B. But now the part that you've all been waiting for. What's in store for the finalists, starting off for Division B? Okay, and it looks like we're in Italy at Monza for this Division B final. And the drivers are going to be using the Nissan GTR Nismo GT500 2016 Group 2 car with the grid order, of course, going under the championship points. It's going to be a grid start with a full start check ahead of a 1 hour race here at Monza. Tuning will be balance of power on with just brake balance allowed. The tyre wear is going to be set to ×3 with a fuel consumption rate at ×2. The refueling speed will be 10 litres a second. As always, we've got damage set to heavy, weather is set to random, and the tyres at their disposal will be the racing softs, the racing mediums, and the racing hards. All tyre compounds are required for this one. TKs, what are your thoughts on this Division B final combo?
You know what? I'm a fan. I love this track. Group 2 cars aren't my favorite. However, I love all tires are required and that it's a 1 hour race. It's not a lapped race. That makes strategy a lot harder to put together because you're trying to figure out lap times and how many laps you have going. It's going to make refueling interesting. And luckily, these drivers have quite a bit of time before the race because they're going to need to put some practice in.
Yes, they certainly do. And just to answer the question in chat, there is no rain available at Monza, so it will be a dry race. But yeah, Tati, what are your thoughts on this Division B final?
I think it's a pretty good combo as well because it is a strategy race. To TK's point, you got an hour on there. All the tires being required definitely makes things interesting. Tire wear being at 3x is just enough tire wear that it does matter, especially with the length of the race. So I'm looking forward to see what drivers are able to put together. They have a long time to figure out what the fastest situation is. Fastest strategy, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, strategies will come into play here, so it's going to be very interesting in this Division B final. But what is in store for the Division A finalists? Okay, and we can see we are at the Daytona International Speedway.
Oh boy.
And it is going to be the road course with the car now confirmed as the Corvette CXR VGT concept car, with the grid order again being the championship points to set the grid order. The grid start is going to the start is going to be a grid start with a full start check with balance of power switched on. Brake balance is allowed with 6 liters of fuel a second for the refuel rate. It is going to be a 50 lap race here, so a very, very long race with tire wear set to ×2 with a fuel consumption rate at ×2. The time rate is ×20. Heavy damage, of course, random weather, and the tires at their disposal will be the racing softs, mediums, and hards. And again, all tire compounds will be required in this race. What are your thoughts on this one, Tati?
Well, I love Daytona for sure. This Corvette race car, I'm not as familiar with. It's just come out, just been added to the game just in the last couple of months here, but I hear good things about it. And since everyone will be in the same one, it'll certainly make some good racing. But Daytona is a fantastic track for longer races. I'm excited about this one.
And TKs, I'm not too familiar of the car. What are your thoughts on the car and the track combo?
You know, much like Tati, I haven't given this one a try. I know there was a time trial for it. I never got around to it. Looks like a lot of fun. We know it's going to be fast. I've been to Daytona for the 24 Hours of Daytona many times, and it is an excellent track. I think these drivers are going to hit some crazy speeds once they come out of that bus stop or Le Mans chicane. And it's going to be interesting. Again, all tires required, so strategy is going to come into play.
Okay, well, yeah, this is certainly going to be 2 gripping races we've got for the final. These are coming up in 3 weeks' time. We have the grand finale of both divisions held on the same day. That is Saturday, the 15th of November at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Remember, no Friday for the finals, so make sure to wake up early so you don't miss any of the racing action. And make sure, if you're new to this channel, smash that subscribe button and please hit the like button to help help spread our content across the whole of YouTube. We gratefully appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, so that was round 3 of the divisional heats for Saturday. I mean, we had 2 absolutely fantastic races, but it's going to be interesting to get your final thoughts, TKs.
I mean, what a great day of racing. We saw just excellent stuff. A great weekend of racing, really. Last night was fantastic. NRL does not disappoint, and now we have some epic finals coming up around the corner. So I'm a happy camper.
Oh, and also TKs, who is your driver of the day?
I'm going to go with Oak. I mean, that was incredible what he was able to pull off there, and especially not feeling comfortable in the rally cars. I think Oak is my choice there.
Okay, good choice there. And Sassy, what are your final thoughts on round 3 Saturday, maybe overall on the weekend? And who is your driver of the day?
Just again, another great weekend of racing. I mean, both across Friday and Saturday. Of course, you asked me about Saturday specifically, but we had 4 very exciting races this last weekend with very close finishes at that. You know, changes up until like the last second in some of these races, and that's what this is all about. So I have nothing but smiles over here. And then as far as my driver of the day goes, I'm going to give it to Island Road for taking that risk and getting on those softs early at the Nürburgring and making up a ton of positions and basically passing half the grid because of that decision after falling down so far.
Fair play, fair play. Well, to be honest, I think my driver of the day is Oak as well, because he mentioned about never doing rallying or not enjoying it. And he had everything at stake for this race. You know, anything less than probably a top 2 wouldn't have been good enough for him. The fact that he actually got the race victory was fantastic to see, and definitely look forward to seeing him in the final. But yeah, that is Saturday round 3 wrapped up. So now we have an idea of the drivers competing in the grand finale. Steward inquiries pending, I would say. That draws a conclusion to our league phase, and what a season 6 of the NRL we've seen so far. Remember, the final of both divisions will be held on Saturday, not Friday. So make sure you tune in 3 weeks' time for an eruption to unfold from our 2 final races, where we will find out who will be crowned champion of season 6. But until then, it's a goodbye from Tati.
Bye, everybody.
And it's a goodbye from T-Case.
Later, y'all.
And it's a goodbye from me. Stay safe, enjoy this mini break, and we'll see you in 3 weeks' time. Bye-bye for now.